welcome everybody to Wednesday Night Live. We are here. There's three of us tonight. Brian is running late again, so we got to tease him. What is his fine? What is his fine up to, Tom?
$10,000.
Damn it!
I'm thinking more like Dr. Evil level. Now we're like $1 million.
No,
Although he'll never be able to pay up, so I mean, all of this is
support the kids. So
it's all for posterity.
10 grand is fine.
Look at him to sell his car, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, no, I mean, sometimes you got to sacrifice the luxuries in life to pay your debts. You know, I mean, that's just the reality of it all. What does he drive? A Prius?
No, I don't want it if it's a Prius. Let's say hello to everybody out there. Who's out there? Green Thumb is out there. Mallory's out there. Who else is out there? Mutt is out there.
O is out there.
Sweaty Luke is out there.
Toasty Cheesy.
Christian is out there.
Toasty Cheesy.
Toasty Cheesy.
Yeah.
All right.
That is a great
I
name.
have been thinking about this for ever since I've seen that name, Toasty. Why is your name Toasty Cheesy? You got to let us know. I'm kind of curious. Are you just one of those grilled cheese nuts?
Also, high Facebook user.
High Facebook user, and I'm assuming that's probably either Nick, or Becky. One of those two.
Or it's both of them.
It could be both of them.
Identify yourselves. Identify yourselves.
Identify yourselves. Show your faces.
And I'm thinking the story behind Toasty Cheesy.
Yeah, we want to know the story behind Toasty Cheesy's name. And it is a grilled cheese sandwich, right, guys? Is that the picture?
That's what it looks like.
It looks like it.
That's
it's
Kyle.
Kyle, what's up, Kyle? So
Kyle?
We're gonna do our lows, and then I'm gonna throw these two guys right here a little curveball. I'm changing up a couple things. I wanted it to be a surprise. They don't know what's going to happen here. Who is it? Oh, there it is. All right, there it is.
For everybody, right there. There you go.
Used to be a big grilled cheese fan.
But isn't well? I mean, I guess bread is out when it comes to keto, but I mean, cheese is in. So don't they have keto bread? Could you not Toasty Cheesy go with a keto friendly grilled cheese? I believe you can now.
Hi, Phil.
What's up,
Phil?
Couldn't you just grill the cheese?
That's
boring, dude. Like, what are you gonna put cheese
throw
on
some bacon in there?
I did see a thing on Facebook the other day where you can make your own Cheez-Its. That looked pretty friggin' rad. So just let me know.
Now, wait a minute. Tom brought up a good thing because you could use the bacon as the bread.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of grill the cheese a little bit.
Bacon?
Yeah. You can hold it.
Grilled bacon and cheese?
Ooh,
yes.
Damn.
I can hear my arteries clogging.
That would be your fat. That would be your fat bomb for the week.
I am going to the supermarket after the show, dude.
I'm not on keto. I just watched somebody go through it, and I just shook my head a lot.
You try to avoid the American cheese.
Well, no, I mean, because I didn't need to be on a diet. Okay, that was the reality of it. I mean, I guess if I wanted a lifestyle change and wanted to go to keto, right? But the point was I didn't need to be on a keto diet. However, if I needed to be on a diet, I would probably choose keto.
Keto. It's not rape related, but I'm going to go there because this question is kind of important because I don't think I've ever seen anybody talk about it as far as keto. But how much does keto fuck up your normal poops?
Great. This is where the show was devolved into.
That's important. That is really important. When you're considering a diet, you have to consider that element as well.
Because you don't want to be spending all your time
Thank you.
Shitter.
Thank you, Tom.
Not doing nothing.
You want the content? We got the content.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're eating all that fucking cheese and all that other stuff, I mean, there's got to be you gotta somehow add some fiber to that, or you're gonna have some trouble when you start getting to me and Tim's age. That's all I'm saying.
Hold on, time out. Before we get to the poop answer, Toasty. That is awesome that you lost that much weight, brother. Congrats.
Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, way to go, man. Absolutely.
Whoa, shit, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's really the success in keto. There are people that continue it forward as a lifestyle change.
Yep.
I know I've heard some controversy about whether or not it's good enough. It's decent enough to carry it forward after the fact. But I think if something's working for you, stay with it. Hey man,
Exactly.
vaping's working for you, stick with it.
Stick with it.
Keto's
man.
working
Hey,
for
way to
you.
bring it back around, Timmy.
There you go. See.
Yeah. What a way to get the show back to vaping.
Tying it in, Tom. Tying it in.
Oh,
Your
man.
tying in and my tying in is two completely different things, sir.
That's awesome,
went on.
Toasty. That is fucking awesome. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of weight. Man, that's good for you. You're feeling healthier, better. Now you're vaping as well. So that's like Tim's, that's awesome.
Total health reversal.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Is alcohol a no-no on keto?
Yes, sugars, bro. Sugar.
Oh,
Sugar.
You can do some wines every now and again, and I believe you can do a shot of certain kinds of whiskey here and there. But sugars totally blow the whole idea right out of the water. That'll throw you right out of ketosis.
Got it.
That's the whole idea behind keto, is to trick your body into attacking fat and not burning sugar, because sugar just turns to fat.
All right, I got it. All right, well, let's do our hellos. Tom, you're up.
Hi, everybody. I was gone last week. I'm here now. I'll be gone the next 2 weeks. And if I suddenly disappear, it's because it's storming here and I lost power and blew myself up.
Yeah, if Tom just automatically disappears, guys, he'll be back probably tomorrow.
Start a GoFundMe immediately.
Yeah, we're going to start a GoFundMe for Tom to get him out
if
of.
you hear my scanner going in the background, it's so I can hear what's going on with the weather. That's it.
Tom just likes to talk to all the truckers and use that fancy lingo. Got a bear in the air. Got a ballerina in front of me.
All right, hold on.
It's not a CB.
Hold on. What is Tom's handle?
Yeah, what's your handle on the?
Nope.
He's not even gonna go there, Tim.
Nope.
He's not even gonna go there.
What was your handle, John?
Oh, Big John. That was it.
Original.
Not Italian necktie or something really ominous.
No, I stayed off. The 20 some odd years that I was in a truck, I had the CBD. I thought it was cool, like the first 2 years, and then it got to be kind of like Days of Our Lives in General Hospital on there.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
there were cat
Drama.
fights and people were sleeping with each other and having each other's babies and stuff.
There was like certain, the fun part about the CBD radio and the truck driver is when you were in certain areas, you knew certain people were only in those areas and you can actually talk to those individuals. Mm-hmm. That's what was kind of cool. And there was like certain areas throughout Highway 5 and 99 and parts of Utah that I knew if I was in that area, I could talk to her or I could talk to him. So yeah, it was kind of, that was about the only. Yeah,
did you guys have kumbaya moments and then sing Convoy together?
Yeah. Basically,
hey man, don't knock Convoy. That's a great song.
Yeah, don't knock that. I mean, basically, I had it turned on just to know where the cops were, the highway patrol were, and that was like the best part of it. It was just like with most truck drivers, it was right down to the exit, the road. The color of the car, you just let all that stuff, so you knew.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a pretty good science. Let's get down to this guy down here, Tim.
I want to know why you're smashing caddies, Luke. I mean, you know how that word's used in today's culture.
Chef caddy.
So you're smashing caddies at work. I'm just gonna guess he works at a golf course and he sends the caddies out. He's like kind of like not the golf pro per se, but he's in charge of the caddies, probably getting them on their tee times, getting them paired up with. Am I close?
I like that. I'll take that job. I'd like to retire. That's like that job and being a wine pourer would be my two retirement jobs that I would like to have. Just pour wine all day at a winery, or be work at a caddy at a caddy, just to have fun.
At a country club.
At a country club.
Throw drunk millionaires out of the country club.
That's right.
You're out of here, Mr. Johnson. That's one too many vodka tonics.
Yeah.
Get
no,
fuck out.
I just want to call someone Thurston Howe. Hey, Thurston Howe, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, hold on.
There you go. All
hey,
right,
now that's a job right there. That's a real job. No, okay. So update on this kid. I'm sick. I'm sick right now.
got the
I have a little bit of a cold, a little one. I'm not laboring too hard. My head's a little stuffy, but I'll manage. I'll be okay. Spirits are up. Appetite is there. I dread this shit. Alka-Seltzer Cold Plus medicine. It's a godsend, but this is for adults today is like what Robitussin was 35 years ago for kids. Like, I don't want to drink it, but you know what? It does the trick. My AC's broken on the lower level, the level that I'm on right now. I'm in a room that's full of nothing but light and energy and heat. There's no moving, circulating air in the room whatsoever. AC guy's coming tomorrow. Prognosis and outlook is not good.
Yeah, so, I have a fan.
I ordered one on Amazon on Monday. The thing said delivered by Wednesday. I'm like, perfect. One day before the AC guy gets here, and the fuckers handed it to UPS, and it said delivered on Thursday.
Actually, I have 2 fans. One's up there.
Well, I'm debating if so nutshell. Right now, apparently, there's a massive shortage on AC and HVAC repair parts.
There's a shortage
and
on
so
everything.
they can't get replacement parts for AC units that break down. Doesn't matter if you have Carrier, Goodman, whatever. Can't get them out of Mexico. They're probably sitting in trailers on a freight yard somewhere, and nobody's working to go get them out of the goddamn trailer.
Yep.
Anyhow,
that boat that got stuck.
yeah. So the bottom line is if this thing is failing, it could be out of commission for 2 to 3 months, and then I'm gonna have to get some kind of a portable AC unit for the lower level. I have AC upstairs, but all my shit is down here.
What is I've been in your state a few times as when I was driving truck, but when is your peak summer month? When now is it this? Yeah,
now.
like us, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, dude, it just the humidity levels just shot through the. I mean, it gets to maybe 87, close to 90 right now, but it feels like it's about 120.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just stagnant. I mean, dude, I can't even mow my grass right now. There's no way I'm going out there and mowing that crap and then coming back in here and suffering. So, sorry, neighbors. Sorry I brought your curb appeal down just to.
It's the same here. Late July, early August, the wind just disappears. And, I hate saying it. It's a dry heat here. We don't have no humidity. But the wind just disappears, and it's like 110, 112 for like 2 weeks straight.
Yeah, it'll be hot from here on out, probably into early part of October, and then it'll slowly kind of start winding down. We have really short winters. Well, I wouldn't say they're short. They're shorter than the north, and we don't get any snow.
They're short compared to what we have.
Yeah, we barely get any snow.
Hey, guys, look who's here.
I saw,
Who the fuck is that guy?
He was only 11 minutes.
I don't
behind.
know. Where is that guy? Who is that guy?
Interest for every minute over the time thing. So.
You're gonna have to sell your car pretty soon just to pay this fine,
or at least the eyelid ring. At least that you got to sell that.
That thing's worth at least a few grand.
Yeah.
What is happening, Brian?
What's going on? I'm actually early today. Having a good day today. Yeah, it's a good time.
Keep telling yourself that, Brian.
Okay. Listen.
He's all good.
It's like so nice inside here. It's like 62 degrees. I'm in my basement. This is pretty hot. Oh, I mean, hi Tim, how's it going?
Yeah.
Sorry, pals. Didn't mean to come in with the friggin' name badge on. There you go. I'm off the fucking clock now.
We don't know. We don't know who he is. That's why he wears the name badge.
Look what the cat dragged in on the bottom of the chat.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Mr. Elliott.
Well.
Mr.
My Michelle.
Elliott. Hey, Elliott, this show really misses you. So anytime you want to come back on, just let us know.
He's our heavy in the chat. Like, he just keeps everybody straight.
I'm speaking for myself. I love Elliott. I think he speaks his mind, and I love people that do that, and I respect people that do that. So, all right, we're going to change things up here, guys. We have no guests today, and I was sitting back, and I was thinking to myself, John needs to work on his interviewing skills. So, you three are my guests today. So, no co-hosts. You guys are not co-hosts from this point on at 14:41 into the show. You are now no longer a host of this show. You are guests.
I wish I still had the login. I can mute you right now. That'd be hilarious.
So what we're gonna do? We're gonna start it out this way. Tom, your name, your age, and how long you been vaping.
Do what now?
Your name, how old you are, and how long you been vaping.
I'm Tom. I'm old, and I've been vaping for 6 years.
6 years. Brian.
You just said his name.
Apparently,
So
people know my name, so you said it.
Yeah.
My age, I just turned 40 in December,
Fucking old bastard.
and it was a fun birthday. It wasn't like super exciting. So I mean, there was like 5 people. It was great. Had some drinks, and oh god.
So what you're saying is the entire
13?
population of Fargo showed up.
2013, I think, is when I started vaping.
All
I
right.
think that answers all of your questions.
Mr.
And
Swift.
if you don't know my name, it's right here.
Yeah. All right.
Mine's
My name is George.
Oh.
Yeah, my name is George. I've been lying to everybody for a lot of years now. No, it's Tim. I am the ripe old age of 53, the same old age as John up there, and I've been vaping since about 2013 as well, so about 8 years.
All right. I will shoot you a link, Elliot. I
there you
will
go.
shoot
Now
you a
you
link.
can, now you can interview Elliot as well.
I get Elliot in here, and I'm going to start with Tim on this one. Fun question. If you were to start your own e-liquid company, what 3 flavors would you start off with and why?
Well, I'm going to piss off a bunch of people with my first one. So I'd probably go with a rivaled, or at least better than whatever I found on the street, mango iced, an iced mango. I with that, but that would be my guilty pleasure. Satisfy my own delights, kind of thing. Like no, forget it. We could definitely have a mango iced in the rotation. I've definitely turned my eyes towards fruits down the line. I probably would do something in the form of like a strawberry peach, kind of like what Tie-Dye did. I thought that theirs was probably the best one out there that I've had to date. So that one vanished. I would probably go with a strawberry peach. I thought that was a great combination. And then to surprise everyone, well, I don't want to copy. You got to be innovative, right? I have to
Be innovative. Be creative. Be innovative.
That's a
Something
tough
you
one.
enjoy. Something you enjoy eating. That's where you should go with.
That's a bad answer. We all kind of know how this turns out. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't buy and eat a lot of fruit. And anything else I eat, like I'm not going to do pulled pork e-liquid, John.
yeah, don't do sushi e-liquid. That's a bad idea.
Yeah, we're not
That-
going that
no.
route. You know what? I think I probably would maybe do something.
Body shot tequilas.
I think
Wrong show, John.
I would probably find something to do with maybe something desserty, like a banana peanut butter honey kind of thing, like sweet, tangy, gross. Nobody would buy it. That kind of thing.
What would you name that?
Nobody's gonna buy this.
Nobody's gonna buy it.
That's what the name of it would be.
All right, Brian. Question's on you, buddy. If you were starting your
Well-
own e-liquid company, what 3 flavors would
That's
you
kinda
start off with?
unfair.
I kind of did have my own part in e-liquid company.
Yeah.
and
Okay, well you
I
can't
did
pull
do
on that
my-
experience.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I like dessert flavors and I like breakfast flavors. Okay. To me, I would like. I still love dessert, like breakfast vape. So like a fruity pebble, like a really good fruity pebble vape is really good. I do like the cornflakes type vapes. Like Experiment One by Telios is delicious. Otherwise, something unique and different. I would have. There's no way it's going to actually work, but it would have been nice if you could actually get an e-liquid that, as you squirt it down or like drip it down at the time, you could actually get like a multi-flavor thing going on. So like it'd do one flavor for a
so
while
like a
and then I'd switch
gobstopper.
over.
I mean,
Never going to happen, but it'd be kind of nice to have. So that's what I would actually like to have. Like the disposables now, you have the adult multiple flavors. Something like that, but with bottle and a ripper. That'd be awesome.
Moon pie e-juice. Woo.
So it's a surprise each drip. Is that what you're saying?
No, like it goes like halfway through one and then it goes to another one after that.
You could
It was
probably
like
figure
mango-
it out.
Mango
I figured
first,
it out.
and then like Like maybe like if you could do like a 50-50 blend with like a 80-20, like so 80-20 would go on the bottom type thing, like something like that, where the thickness kind of will separate out.
I think the only issue you'd have with something like that is you'd have to keep the flavors that were together in the same sort of family, right? Because once you start dropping different flavors onto your cotton and on your coils, and one sort of like cancels the other one out or doesn't really transition well, they got to be married flavors.
Yeah, so like a straight green apple or a straight watermelon together, or like a tobacco and then like maybe a coffee flavor after that type thing, stuff like that. I think
Remember
that'd
the
be kind of
tank?
cool.
Remember those tanks with the separate compartments?
Or those dual drippers ones, the two drippers like this. Like that was I actually used those. I did like them.
Look
They were
out.
dumb, but I did use them. I thought that was kind of cool. So this way, like if you just want to run dripper and just switch flavors, you could do it anytime you wanted to.
Yeah.
It's a very niche product. I only had one, tried one, but I did like Hadley's on them instead. So that was me. I didn't sit and waste juice, but that's what I did like. I thought that was really unique and different.
Yeah.
So
All right,
what's going
Tom.
on, Matthew?
Matthew.
What's going on, gentlemen?
Not
How you
much.
doing, brother?
Good.
All right.
First time I've been on in a while.
Yeah.
Let's ask the burning question. You don't have to provide any details. How are you feeling?
Yeah,
you
how are you
doing?
feeling, man?
I'm alive.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what counts.
Considering
Yeah.
today was a PT day.
That's definitely better than the alternative.
Being alive.
Yeah.
Like I said, today was a PT day. So
He
Yeah.
didn't want to live through that.
Yeah.
yeah,
But he did.
That was
He did.
rough.
Yeah.
Hey, all right, let's get back. Tom,
Yo.
what are the three? What are your
yes,
three
that's
flavors
three
you're
to
going to
me.
start your company with?
Strawberry rhubarb.
Ooh. What?
Yeah.
I've had a strawberry rhubarb. It's not very good unless you make it the right way. Rhubarb is very tricky coming from someone who used to work at an e-liquid manufacturing place.
Yeah.
Hey, it's my dream. Let me live it.
All right,
Alright,
hey, your dream.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go with a banana moon pie.
If
Okay.
you say cheese, we might have problems.
I'm waiting for the cheese one to come in.
I thought about it. And
Banana moon pie?
Yes.
It's Tom,
And-
Matthew.
You got
And-
Matthew thinking, hey,
A cheesecake.
How would you do that?
mac and cheese with bacon vape.
Fuck yeah, I didn't even think of that, Mike.
God,
I've had a
that'd be-
bacon vape. It's actually not that bad.
I have not tried that yet.
Vape walls had a bacon vape. Don't try that.
You
That
gotta
was
be
dumb idea.
careful with, because you have bacon is kind of like banana, where you have like different stages of bacon. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Just
Flavor.
compare bacon to banana. You
Well, I mean,
psycho?
flavor wise, you got your ripe bananas, you got your fruity bananas. You know what I'm saying? Flavor wise, you can have bacon can taste different depending on how it's cooked. Is what I'm trying to
I
say.
don't
You
know,
got
bacon always tastes like bacon to me.
you
I was
got
gonna say
burnt.
bacon
That's
tastes
it's
like
candy.
bacon.
Yeah.
I have a special tongue. How's that?
I don't want to hear about it. Can we just move right along to the next question?
let's just scroll
Next
right
question,
past
please.
Well, we got to ask Matthew.
No, I want to hear his answers. I just don't want to hear the rest of the one you were going to try to give before.
Tom's answer. You need to let him finish before we can move on.
Oh wait, did he do all three, Tom? Did you
Yeah,
do
I
all
did
three?
three.
Yeah, he did all
Yeah.
three. All right, Matthew. You're
All
starting
right, so
your new.
what's
your
the
company.
question?
You start your new company. What three flavors you starting it with?
Can I take 3 from my old company?
No, no,
That's the easy way out.
easy.
Can I take the 3 top sellers from my old company? All right, let me think. Well, I would definitely do a spearmint ice.
Ooh, okay.
And I mean like the thing that I've been missing ever since the shop in Jersey shut down, because they had the best spearmint vape I've ever had. But now I like this cold kick too.
Yep.
I would
Yeah.
do a fruit ice. No, actually I wouldn't.
Oh, you just lost the sale.
Are we talking right now? Hold on. Are we talking right now?
Yeah, like if you had to start a company tomorrow and you could,
And there were no
create
regulations.
no regulations.
Hypothetically,
play by
yes,
the
no
regulation
regulation.
rules.
No. It's
'Cause
not.
Those,
We're not.
those flavors change very drastically.
No.
Jewel mint.
Wide open. Wide open.
Better than a Jewel Mint. Jewel Mint was more of the mintiness. I want more of a spearmint with ice. So definitely one of those. I do a bourbon flavor probably, like a bourbon, a little bit of caramel, a little bit of vanilla swirl in it. Add some smokiness to it too.
Yeah.
And final one.
It's hard.
It's hard because all my favorite flavors I've already made.
Right.
That one right there.
COVID-19.
This is actually a job interview, Matthew. No, I'm joking.
It would probably be a Long Island iced tea.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah, perfect.
Two
Perfect.
alcohol drinks.
Yeah, perfect.
I probably vaped the Long Island before I'd vaped the bourbon. That's just me.
I've made a Long Island iced tea before. It's rough because you have to balance your sour.
Yeah.
And if anyone knows anything about mixing e-liquid, sour absolutely overwhelms any flavor you put in.
Yep.
So when you're making an e-liquid, you think, "Oh, I'm going to make this like I make a cake or whatever." No, you have to think of it as you're basically making a pie chart, and you can only add percentages of the flavorings and hope that it works.
Gotcha.
Any sour, you kind of have to divide it by 10 to put it in.
Yeah.
And then it's actually a bit better. Like normally
I'll
you'd
keep
add a
that
certain like whatever the formula is or like whatever you calculated that out to be. But then take like your formula and then take your sour that you're going to put in, divide it by 10 and then work your way up slowly from there.
Right.
Then you'll hit the right sweet spot.
So I know a lot of my flavors have sour in it. And I'll tell you the hardest thing of all, when you convert milliliters to fucking percentages.
Yeah.
We had a show a few weeks ago. Me and Zach are going back and forth between grams, percentages, milliliter. It was the chat was like the whole. It was pretty crazy.
Well, when you're mixing a flavor for the first time, you're going to use milliliters because you're going to go, oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and you write these all down, and then you go, okay, I have to make this into a percentage without using an e-liquid calculator.
Random hard.
They didn't teach that class in high school.
Right.
Hey,
Well, that's one thing we got all good.
No,
all
but I
good
bet you
at
can
was-
make the shit out of an ashtray though in shop.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Hey, I'd take a good butterscotch vape. I wouldn't mind a decent butterscotch vape. The old grandma butterscotch hard candies.
Not a fan of butterscotch.
Oh, I would. All right, question number 2, and we'll start with Matthew on this one. When going out for the day, how many mods and flavors are you taking with you?
Now
So,
or before?
All day. You're going out all day.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Now or before, because there is a considerable difference.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, just
2 or 3 answers now, 5 years ago, and then 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. 10 years ago, I'm probably taking 2 mods and 2 flavors. 5 years ago, I'm probably taking
He's a fucking
7 or 8 mods and about 9 to 12 flavors.
Wow.
Damn.
I used to carry a backpack just full of shit.
Yeah.
Now, 1 mod and fuck me, I don't even know where it is. 1 mod and 1 flavor and 0 milligrams of nicotine.
Wow.
Nice.
I've been on 0 since January.
Yeah.
Don't clap! Don't clap!
All right.
Oh, because you have to, right? Is that
Yes.
okay, I got you.
Hopefully, my doctor
Can you show us a picture of your room so we can see all the holes in the wall?
there's only 1 hole and it's already patched.
Yeah, he patched it already.
I shit you not.
Yeah.
I believe it.
I believe it.
There it is.
It's right by the computer.
Look like that Datsun B210 down the street with friggin' Bondo on it.
Tommy Boy. What is Tommy Boy taking out? Now you going to work and the type of job you have, so you're taking
Okay.
1 month. Yeah.
All right, I'll take this with its own, and then 2 pods, and
pods.
liquid for each one.
All right. That's not bad. Timmy.
I'll give the now answer. I don't know how that's gonna. I don't know what's gonna change next week. So I mean, now on the average, when I'm out or gone, let's just use the average. I'm not including like trips to the grocery store and stuff like that. But I'd say average day out, probably anywhere from 2 to 3. So I'll take the PX80 swag because it's small. It's DTL. So here, can you see that? It's got the little stealthy screen in there behind the carbon
Very
fiber.
nice, very nice.
Yeah, magnetic. I mean, and Matthew, you'll appreciate this. So even though I'm not the biggest sub-ohm tank kind of guy, this has a lock system on it. So like, let's say you need to change a coil and you're 3/4 way through juice, you just turn the drip tip and push down, and it pushes the coil out, but it shuts down your juice flow. So you can change a coil mid-flow. This is my favorite little device ever since I've had it. This thing goes with me pretty much everywhere. And then I'll take usually 2 pods with me. So 2 flavors, one like a 6 or a 3, and then I'll take a couple pods with me, just backups, like just in case I'm like shit, all my batteries died or whatever. So about 3, 2 flavors, 3 devices.
Not bad. Brian.
Well, now
you're gone all day. You're gone all day from home, so you're the only one that's still working in normal life situations with other people.
do I have access to USB charging?
Oh fuck, dude, where you work? Yeah.
Yeah, listen, I'm just saying what I do right now is I bring one little 30 ml bottle of Nick salts with me. I bring this guy around with my daily banger. This is what I bring with me all the time. Okay. This is what I bring with me all the time. I'll actually have one extra coil in my pocket just in case something stupid happens.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. 5 years ago. So with Matthew's got it right. Like I brought around a backpack. I would bring around probably like
half of your
2
collection
cartridges of batteries like this. And they're always fully charged. I brought a little charger with me, like 4 mods, 3 different tanks, and probably like 3 different RDAs. And 1 DNA device just in case, something stupid happened. And then 10 years ago, I actually would bring around 3 different sticks with me, a Nautilus Mini, and some juice with me everywhere I went. And I would also bring in the little turn charger with me too.
So you go all day? I couldn't go all day with one flavor. I just couldn't do it.
Well, when I'm working, yeah, like I just take a break here and there.
Yeah.
Usually like that's the way it works. Ideally it'd be nice if I could bring something a little bit bigger with me, but this guy, it's super easy to put in pocket, USB-C charging, so it charges stupid fast.
Yeah.
And I plug it in for like 30 seconds and I can last the rest of my day if I need to. And then when I go home, and it works just fine. 5 clicks on, 5 clicks off, and I fill this guy maybe once in a day, maybe a 1 extra half fill, and that's it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll take a couple puffs here and there and just keep rolling with my day.
Yeah. I don't carry any of those pods around with me anymore. I just if I carry the 1 mod and 2 bottles, and I don't care. I just kind of make sure the 2 flavors that I have with me kind of go well together. So if I want to switch over, I don't have to change
You just
my
mix them right there.
I just mix it. I just drop. Yeah. All right. At any point during your transition, did you feel overwhelmed by the different choices, not just in e-liquid, but equipment? Tom, you go first this time.
Actually, yes, I did. When I first started, I was the amount of information that was out there. It made me want to pull out my hair. Luckily, I don't have much to pull out, so it was fine.
When did you first start?
About 5-6 years ago.
The peak.
Yeah, yeah.
Right at the peak.
That was that wonderful smock freaking
every week.
Every other week a new TFV whatever.
My first device was an eLeaf 40 watt with TC.
With TC, I remember that little mod.
I remember when those came out. I remember when my shop first got them.
Yep, that was my first one. And
Which part of it, though? Were you more overwhelmed by the hardware or the e-liquid part of it?
more so the hardware, because I did want to quit smoking, and I didn't know what the fuck to get. To be totally blunt about it, I was like, "What's good? What's junk?" I didn't know nothing.
Right.
So I had a buddy of mine that vapes that he was like, he found something. He's like, "Hey, get this. You'll like it. It'll work for you for a start. And if it works, cool. If it doesn't, you're only out like, $50, something like that."
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'll try that, because it was still cheaper than a carton of cigarettes.
Yep.
And well, it worked.
It worked. And it got you on this show.
This handsome face getting on this show, bitch.
Exactly. It was his chiseled looks that got him.
Yeah.
But
With the liquid, it was. I knew what I wanted to start with, which was a Captain Crunch cereal. I knew that going in because that just sounded amazing.
Yeah.
By
And then
who?
from there, I just developed what I like.
Do you remember who it was by?
Mount Baker Vapor.
Mountain Bay. Everybody's going to say that 6 years ago.
We all dabbled on their website at least once.
6 years ago. Shit. 8 years ago.
8 years ago. 8 years ago.
Probably longer, actually. Fuck.
Yeah, for me too, Tom. It was the thing that kind of upset me the most with the because it was kind of hard back 9 years ago. There wasn't all the flavors that are out there today. But when someone would just rave about a flavor, and you go out, you go get that flavor, and then you hit it for the first time, you're like, what the
Well,
fuck?
after you paid fucking $18 for a 12 mil bottle of it.
You paid a lot more for it back then, though.
Sorry, 15 mil bottle was $24.99 over here.
Yeah, you paid a lot for it 9 years ago, because 15 mil for me was $24.95 at the kiosk in the mall. So it's just like, oh yeah, everyone raved, and you'd go and get it, or you got it online. Yeah, 15 mil bottles 9 years ago it was what you're paying today for a 60.
Let's not even talk about the 120s.
Yeah.
$89.99 for a 120.
Oh, kilo. Yeah, 120 glass bottle kilo was anywhere from
boosted.
Tim.
Yeah.
What was it for you, Tim?
I was not overwhelmed. I think for lack of not really knowing the environment, but we were still sort of in that space 8 years ago where it was still sort of new. I mean, on a bigger level. So people were doing the blues and the enjoys and the cigalikes and the things of that nature. And even maybe some of the ego pen stuff. The real
about 8 years ago we had the ego twists and the freaking tentacle
the silica wick.
The silica wick cartomizers.
Yeah. So I wasn't overwhelmed by the choices and devices, because it just seemed fairly easy to pick one, or at least say, okay, I'll try that one. And if that one doesn't work, I'll try something else or whatever, right? And then over the next couple of years, that snowball just kind of rapidly started rolling downhill much faster. But by then, you're kind of already in the swing of things. So you're watching the industry and you're watching videos and you're watching what's coming around, and you're more willing to do the research to figure it out. I think for me, the hardest thing early on was e-liquid. Definitely e-liquid. Because when you buy a blue, you get like 5 crappy flavors. You get like cherry, tobacco.
Blue didn't even have the cherry back then.
I mean, I feel like at some point they did, but
they did later. They had it like for a short period of time. I think when they switched over to like tanks, but back when they were just the screw-in cartomizers.
Was it mostly tobaccos then?
It was tobacco, menthol, and
maybe one other.
That was it. It was tobacco and menthol. Then they came out with the vanilla and the cherry and all that later on.
Yeah. But I mean, when you start talking about, okay, now I'm going to graduate into refillable devices and not the throwaway cardos like those blues, it's like, all right, I need to start buying juice. I had no experience with vape shops. I think I felt a little intimidated not knowing, if I'd fit in those environments. So I would spend way too much time on YouTube watching e-juice reviews. And that was the dagger, right? Because everybody that reviewed an e-liquid was like, this is the best flavor you're ever going to have. You can taste all of the notes. So you get a little bit of the strawberry on the inhale, and then you can taste the peach on the exhale.
Yeah,
and you
then
get that
hit
nice...
it and you're like, are my fucking taste buds broken?
Yeah,
Like-
exactly, yeah. What is this garbage that I just paid $30 for a 30 ml bottle, right? So... Yeah, that was probably the hardest thing, just because it seemed like there was so much to choose from, and there were a lot of, I don't want to make it sound bad, but there were a lot of bathtub scientists.
Back then, dude, it was it was almost as bad as it is now.
Yeah, darkest day vapors and all of his crazy little monster vapes, and so it was hard, because you didn't have a whole lot to rely on, and that was my only real source was online purchasing. So stuff would show up, and I could tell you I had plenty of bottles that were just like. Ugh.
One hit and done. You put the cap on it, and then you had those people that just said to you, "I'm telling you, dude, let it steep a few days. Let it steep a few days."
I hate hearing let it steep. It should be fucking good out of the goddamn bottle.
Exactly.
It should have steeped before it came to me.
And let's not forget the everyone's steeping methods.
Oh, microwave.
Microwave, bowl of hot water,
boiling water, and boiling your glass bottle.
Yeah,
juice junkies back with boiling everything. Boil your bottle, boil your cotton, boil your mod, boil your batteries. No one actually do any of this. It was all trolling.
Warm rice in a bowl. But see, I think the thing was too is that steeping wasn't really too much of an option at that stage in the game because of what you were paying for a 30 ml bottle of juice. You didn't have 2.5 weeks or a week or 10 days to let it sit in a cabinet, and meld and blend together. I mean, it was like, fuck, I need to go. You know what I mean? This is valuable. This shit is gold.
Or you were buying house juice.
Yeah. See, but that's the thing is, I was, I think, paying maybe $15-$16 for the little offshoot brands, but then you'd start hitting the commercial lines, and I tell the story all the time. Like my favorite juice to this day, although I just don't buy it anymore, was Grandmaster by 5 Ponds. I thought that was the greatest juice ever made. But I mean, you were paying $28 for a 30 ml. And you vape that stuff like you were, on a stranded island and you were rationing.
Back then, still they are now the golden standard, but back then they were the elite. I mean, shops were buying 5 Ponds for in $18 a bottle. I mean,
they were the Morton Steakhouse of the
wholesale price. Yeah, they didn't mess around. How about for you there, Matthew?
So for me, it was really interesting because, like Tim said, I started off on the blues and the Logics, but prior to that, I started back when we used to drip on the 510 atomizer on an Ego battery. That's when I actually started. Sorry, scratch that. Further back, I started vaping on the Cartomizer Cigalite light up red or blue on the base that you actually put into a cigarette pack to charge. I started on one of those.
Yeah, that's what we had.
And then I moved forward. Nothing was really overwhelming for me besides my own obsession. I got into cloud chasing very, very early on, and my first 8 mods, I'll say, probably 6 of them were mechs.
Yeah.
And clone mechs at the time. I mean, I'll be honest. I wasn't paying I didn't have $500 for a Nemesis or for a Stingray. Nor did I understand why it was fucking $500. But then, once you get into the cloud chasing thing, it was just whatever I can do to get the bigger, better cloud all the time. And then I started working at a shop within probably less than a year of me vaping. And it was just history from there. From that time on, all the way up to right after VapeWorks closed. I was in a shop for almost my entire time vaping. So I've seen them come and go. I've seen the different products, the different advances, and as a shop manager, I could see people being overwhelmed, if that makes sense. You know, I would see my customers get overwhelmed, you know, especially during the original race between Kanger Tech, Aspire, and Horizon Tech, and oh my God, UL.
Yeah.
You know, back when there was the Kanger Tank Sub-VOD, Sub-Tank, the Aspire Atlantis, then the Atlantis 2.
Don't forget the knee box.
We're like 3 years before the knee box.
Yeah.
The Arctic didn't even come out
Yeah, the
just
Arctic,
yet. Right? Then you had the Arctic, and then you had the what was the one after the Arctic? I have all of them. But anyway, so then you start getting, and then there was the 4-coil Kanger mod tank. You remember that one? The super sub tank that took 4 different coils in it. You know that was crazy. And then we also had at the time we had 6 battery box mods, 8 battery box mods. People putting lipo batteries together in series.
Yeah.
And then you had people just coming in trying to quit.
Yeah.
So, I think as far as the amount of choices we had, it could be overwhelming, but everyone found a way to vape to their preference. You know, that 454.
That one never made sense to me, man.
Have you ever hit one that was actually built the right way?
No, and I don't think my lungs could handle it.
The flavor is like you're just aerosoling the liquid and just swallowing it.
Yeah,
the flavor on a 454 that's built and wicked the right way.
Yeah.
I'm talking dragon wicked all the way around.
Yeah.
That's, you know, it back then it was a very different time. And flavors. Yeah, let's talk about flavors. How many fucking strawberry milk flavors were there? You go into a vape shop and go, I'm looking for a strawberry milk. All right, which one you want? I got 12.
He throws the book on the counter, dude. Just like,
You got this whole shelf
when
right
there were
here.
flavor books.
Yeah.
But also, I want to bring back another thing, though, too. Back then, the employees at the shops knew every single flavor in that book off the back of their head, and it was like going to a bar and the bartender knowing exactly what you want based off of what they're telling you. Yeah. We don't have that so much anymore now. I mean...
No, because vape shops turned into Best Buys. Like, it used to be you could go into a Best Buy and the guy would tell you all about the fucking TV and all the little nuancy shit. Now, when you walk in and you ask for details, they're just like, that one.
I don't know.
That one. You know, it's the same premise, you know. It's like, just need a body in the shop to man the counter.
But also, you know, we also have a thing now where people are spoiled and they feel entitled.
Yeah.
And I don't mean in life. I mean, that's a whole different point altogether. But as far as vape-wise is concerned, I'm mentioning all these older mods and the ways that we had to do things back then. Now, people want, you know, e-liquid that's going to last the longest, give the best flavor, not kill their coils.
Right.
They want everything all in one, and they want a mod that's going to last forever. They don't have to charge. They don't have to use... Take what you can fucking get. Be happy with what you can get. Also, the price difference.
Yeah.
It used to be you're paying about $1 to $10 per watt back then.
Yeah.
You know, now we have DNA Vupu chips, you know, going up to 200 something watts. You're getting them for $30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was easily a $150 mod.
Yeah. I think that's just a natural progression with any particular industry when the manufacturers realize they can push more units when you basically just make that shit user friendly and you get it to them at the cheapest possible price. Probably not the greatest quality either.
Yeah, no, there was that time period when there was the wattage wars, is what I called it. It's the wattage war. And it was just everyone, even if it was 1 watt more, it was just, that was such a big deal.
This one goes
There was
to
a mod that was 1 watt
201.
more.
It was Wismic, remember? They went 1 watt more or 2 watts more than the other one. It was the 3 mod one. The one with the 3 the Verlo.
Oh, yeah.
It was like 202, not 200, 202. So,
yeah, but then there was always the one reviewer that would do a video and go, "Well, I really can't do 202."
Yeah, I can't do 202.
Or you had the real reviewers that went, the amount of battery power that this is pushing out, you're not getting true wattage up to 100 watts, and then it's just all over the place.
Yeah, that was Daniel and Phil.
Yeah, Daniel vapes at like about 120, 130, bro.
Yeah,
he's in the chat.
Yeah,
I know he's definitely like a high wattage vapor when he's not using his little pod. But like back in the day, we would talk about this all the time. I guarantee you, he's going to say probably somewhere about 120, 130. Yeah. Easy.
Brian, how about you, buddy?
So I'm with Matthew on this one. I did work at a shop during the heyday of all this stuff, and like, yes, absolutely, you'd see people getting overwhelmed and all that stuff because your job was to sell stuff. Like your job was to sell things and to get people to buy things all at the same time, help people quit smoking. Okay, because if you didn't sell stuff, you didn't make money. If you didn't make money, your shop wouldn't stay open. Okay. Now, when you bring out all these choices for people, especially older people or people who are just trying to quit smoking, and you also had the mixed crowd of those DIYers who were like modified mods and tanks and all that stuff.
The Altoid
it
mod
became like this mixed crowd of confusion for a while, and like those crowd of like people who were trying to like cloud chuck, trying to tell people to, hey, you don't need that little mod. Go up to this one, do this. Like it got really confusing to people, and yes, I totally agree with that. Like with the flavors, the flavor walls, all that stuff. I was one that knew the whole thing. Like somebody could put on a flavor, I could tell them exactly how it would vape, and what wattage, and where it would taste the best, and what tank. Like it was down to a science.
Yeah.
So yes, there was a lot of confusion with that. But at the same time, that confusion was also flooded with products and flavors. So not only did you have to help like sort out the confusion, you had to stay on top of everything that was coming out all at the same time. And that was work. That was a lot of work. Like watching, like I had a screen at my shop with the PS3 that was broken down, but it was a hard drive that worked, hooked up to a network, and had YouTube videos going on all the time. We watched Grim, we watched Phil, we watched Matt.
Let's be honest, you watch Rip Trippers too.
Rip Trippers was on there because he was the thing at the time. Yes, he was on there. And then one of my favorites that doesn't do anymore is Gorgor Brittany. She was really good too. She doesn't do it anymore. Like she was one of the ones I would follow all the time, and I got to talk to her quite a bit. But yeah, I mean, I would just put all those people on a playlist and just hit play every morning and just go, because every day there was always new videos. They would pump out a video every single day, and they still did not keep up with all the products. So that still confused people. But if somebody wanted to learn about a product, I would put up the video from like Matt or Phil or Grim on that product and have them show them the video while I deal with other customers all at the same time. So yeah, I mean, it was absolutely confusing. But yeah, I get it. I was there, I did that, used everything. I think the one product I remember back in the day was Pravari.
Pravaris. Yeah.
And then the other one was the Monster V3 tank that came out by Yakun. That was one of the top sellers in my shop for a while.
Yeah. Hold on, Brian. I got to step away. My notary's here. I got to sign some papers. Brian, I posted the next question. It should only take me about 5-10 minutes to sign this stuff. So I'll be right back, guys.
Sure. I'll get to that here in a second. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I totally understand, Matthew, exactly what you're saying, exactly where you're coming from. Especially going to shows and stuff like that too, roughly at that same time. I get it. There's a lot of confusion. I think nowadays is a lot simpler. It takes less able bodies to kind of run the shop now. They don't need to know as much. And I think that's kind of not really helped the selling of the stuff too, and like
It's
the
become
not
very cookie cutter.
absolutely like, you want to do this? Here's your juice. Here's your product. Here you go. It's green apple. Have fun. Like
But in,
that's what it is.
but on the flip side, and this is the hard thing for me, the vape enthusiast in me, right, is like, I hate the way things are now. It's too blah. There's but then it's also like more people are converting right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier for them to convert. So it's like, and I asked this question in another on another thing. I said, do we care about mods more, or do we care about people switching from smoking to vaping? What do we really care about? And it's true. You have to find that balance between being an avid vapor, someone who a hobbyist, a lifestyle, versus wanting just people to quit smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's exactly it. So the like, I feel that excitement is gone. That camaraderie at the shop, like people getting together, like fiddling around, pissing around on the tables and the couch lounge. That's all gone. Like, you go in, you get your stuff. It's simple enough, and you can leave. That's it. Like, it's good and it's bad. It's good because choices are kind of gone. Things are a lot simpler. People can get in and get their stuff. It's going to help people quit smoking all at the same time. Makes things easier for people. But then at the same time, that camaraderie is gone. That group effort, hanging out at the shop, being outside, like going out for a drink or two after the shop, or building at the shop with the customers, like all that's gone. So like that camaraderie is, it's hard to find now.
Not to mention also, I mean, how many people watching this right now who have worked in a shop started working in that shop by just being a regular?
Yeah.
It's like the regular that becomes the bar back, that becomes the bartender.
Yeah.
That's how I started in my first shop, and had to go through it, build everyone's coils. This is my probation period. Everyone that comes in, rewick, build their coils, rewick, build their coils. Now it's, I don't know. I feel like it might start trying to like slowly come back. Yeah. We have this new wave of people coming in. But at the same time, I kind of feel like that the old guard. You know what I mean? I feel like the old vapors that are just like.
But do you think that it's going to change because of the trend of the landscape right now? Like with the challenges and shipping e-liquid, not right now. I mean, there's still people are still. I don't think that's ever going to end. But I mean, freight costs have gone up. Signature fees are now lumped on top of it. All these other elements. I think back then, the experienced people were going in the shop to kind of do what Brian was talking about. Like, they didn't really need anything from the shop. Maybe some
you just go to the shop to hang out at the shop and
hang out.
Stuff. I mean,
and I think that the younger, newer, newbie people just did. They were intimidated by the idea of walking in a shop. They just kind of. They see it and they're like, I don't know, I don't want to walk in and feel stupid and all that other stuff. But that would have been the opportune time, because that's when you would have had the people that were closer to the element of like, look, I'm doing this now, but I was able to quit smoking because of this. I can tell you what worked for me. That kind of mentality. And then that kind of flip-flopped a little bit. And then as the experienced guys fell away from the shops, all the user-friendly shit started showing up, and then it was like you just get the younger, unexperienced kid who's like, oh, here, get this, piece of shit, and shove you down the road. You know what I mean?
Well, we used to have build classes at our shops. Like, like once a week we would have a couple of our good experienced regulars come in who, they would build some simple coils, and then one would build really experienced coils. And then what they would do is we would come in for a few hours a night, say an hour or two before close. And then when we close, we'd shut the doors. And then they'd sit there and we'd go through stuff with them and build coils. If we needed to get juice, we'd still do that and all that stuff. That was awesome. Like, I love doing that, being there. Like, I would stay extra hours just for doing that and being a part of people and helping people with that process. But we can't do that anymore. And like, I miss that.
Yeah.
I miss that
I don't- I
camaraderie. I
don't
miss
like-
hanging out.
I don't like that word can't. I'm going to be 100% honest with you.
Well, you can, like I said, again, it's not. It's if you understood what I just said and how I said it.
Oh no, I know exactly how you said it, but I don't
You
like that
can.
term. I don't like that term can't. And the reason I don't like that term can't is because I live in a flavor ban state.
Right.
Once a flavor ban happened in this state, my whole attitude changed. I no longer give a shit. I no longer give a shit about being compliant. I no longer give a shit about following the rules because I'm seeing what it's doing. And if this starts happening on a federal level, like right now, there used to be, I believe I was on with you guys one time and I showed you how many vape shops were in my area.
Right.
We're down to 4 in my area.
And they're only selling tobacco.
Well, they sell tobacco.
Yeah.
However else they do it is how they do it, but they're gone. They're gone. Shops aren't even. I mean, they're not even converting over to CBD. You know, they're just shutting down. One of the first vape shops ever on Long Island shut down. And I've known these people for years, and they're done. So when I hear things like, we can't do this because of this, and we can't do, fuck it. Burn them all to the fucking ground and do what you want. My biggest issue is do it safely and do it smartly.
Right.
You know, your shit's not registered. Have it made in the lab, have it look registered, and I don't give a fuck. Your shit's made in a basement where you got fucking molding and fucking cat hair and shit. Go fuck yourself.
Right. Well,
check
here's
on
the
that for
reason
you,
why I
Mike.
said
Nothing like
the
a
things-
good cat hair fucking vape, though. man.
Right. Well, here's the reason why I said it exactly the way I said it, because it was ingrained in my head. The reason why I could say it that way, because where I'm from, you can't vape in the shops.
Yeah.
Okay. The way North Dakota law was since 2013 or so, I think it was, or so. You can't smoke indoors, you can't vape indoors, and all that stuff. Like I think it was 2010. But anyways, so with building classes, we can't be open. Okay.
Yeah. I miss.
Can't be
those
open to
classes.
general public. So
Right.
it has to be a private session.
Private session, closed doors, no one got to know shit.
Exactly. And the windows have to be covered. So what we would do is we would start the building process before we closed, get the wire and everything that we need so we can actually show the purchase receipts before we closed. And then after we close, what we do is we go through the building session and have them like try like what they built, and not like super vape inside, but they would be able to try it. If you want to go outside, sit. Let's go outside, sit, and then you sit there and really vape on it and see how you like it. But that's the reason why we did it, because even if you push the button on RDA, that's considered vaping because it's aerosol in the air. Okay, yeah, it's the law. So we were able to figure out how to work around it, and that's the reason why I said it the way I said it.
Well, that's similar to like the August 8th, 2016 regulations, you know. And people found more loopholes around that than anything else.
Yeah.
You know,
We're the
you're not allowed to
loophole
talk
industry.
about the health benefits.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you the health benefits, but I'm telling you what happened with me.
Right.
I mean, hold on, the shop's about to close now. What do you want to know? I can tell you everything. I'm off the clock. I am not an employee right now. I mean, fuck all of the... I can't get upset. Such bullshit.
Have some bourbon, you'll be fine.
Right?
I can't.
Oh.
Wait, whoa. You can't. Oh, he can't. He
Yeah.
can't. He will be able to. He will
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
Will be.
Anyway, are we on my question, or did we? Or
No.
we haven't even
No,
gone
No.
we're rambling.
We completely
We're
squirreled.
burning minutes.
bitches.
We're burning
All right.
minutes.
All right. A lot of people talk about finding the all-day vape as soon as possible during their transition to help the ease with the cravings. Was that something you went through, and how long did you vape that all-day vape? before you started tinkering with other flavors. I went 3 years vaping that Pabst peanut butter and God, it was peanut butter custard and banana, and I vaped the shit out of that for 3 years. And without it, it was like I didn't have that Camel. It was like I didn't smoke that Camel cigarette if I didn't have that Pabst. I forget what it was called, Pabst Cloud, and it was a peanut butter custard and banana vape, and it was just absolutely delicious.
Pals, check your inbox.
Who? Let's start with Tom up there at the top in the middle. Tom.
I didn't really chase the all-day vape at first. I stuck with that Captain Crunch for probably 2 weeks, and I was like, all right, I need something else.
Yeah, cereals are tough. Dude, just stick with it. So you didn't have, your cravings were being satisfied no matter that you were switching flavors all the time in the beginning. Now I'm talking about the beginning, because that's the important part of the all-day vape, is having the film.
Yeah, my cravings were being met just simply because I had the nicotine.
Yeah, the nicotine. All right.
And the flavors were just a happy bonus. And also, hi, Batman.
Who's
Batman's
hey, what's up,
Oh, there he is.
Batman?
What's up, Batman?
What is happening, buddy? How about for you, Tim?
No. Never really. I would always see people talk about it, and they would bring it up all the time, like, oh, that's my jam, that's my ADV. Like, you'd hear it all the time. Never once did I have one particular flavor that I just stayed hooked on for months or even years. I think what I did was I would tend to fall into families of manufacturers and then kind of float somewhere in that, in their flavor ranges. And then I would, use that one for 3 or 4 or 5 days, if you want to call that an ADV, I guess so. And then just move on to something else. I'm trying to think of the brand. Well,
Daniel trying to be sneaky over there, dude. Trying to get Batman to send him his recipe.
Hey, that's a good liquid, man. I don't blame him.
Yeah. Because I went with like Mastermind elixirs for a while. Like I love their stuff, and so I would use theirs consistently because I'm like, okay, it tastes good every time it came in. But then eventually you grow out of that, or the recipe changes or something strange. So no, I never really had anything I can say was an ADV for me.
Well, let me ask Tom, because this is I'm kind of curious now. But Tom, what brand of cigarettes did you smoke?
I started with Pall Mall. I stole that from my dad. Then I switched to
no. What was your regular cigarette that you kind of ended?
My go-to was Marb Lights.
Marb Lights. And how about for you,
then
Tim?
I switched to Pall Mall Lights right before
I was a menthol guy, so
You're a menthol guy.
Before I shut it down, it was Cools, man. I was smoking Cool. The blue pack.
I like
the
how
blue
Tim
pack,
makes
dude.
this sound, when
Cool with a K.
Ooh. All right, Matthew, how about you? Did you go into that all-day vape, and was it important for you to find that all-day vape?
So, yes and no. And I'll also answer the question you asked Tom and Tim.
Yeah.
I smoked. I'll just leave it at that. I smoked. I would buy reservation cigarettes. I would smoke Newports. I would smoke Marlboros. I would smoke cigarettes off the ground. I would smoke cigarettes out of ashtrays. I would smoke. I would when I was little,
rebuild them.
When I was young, when I was like 8 or 9 years old, I used to take cigarettes out of the ashtray and stuff them in a McDonald's straw and smoke them that way. If you want to talk about an actual like nicotine cigarette addict, that was me from the time I was 8 till the time I was fucking 20-something years old. So I smoked whatever I get my hands on. I smoked Darjan Blacks. I smoked Black Deaths. I smoked Camel Ultra Wide Unfilters. I smoked Roll My Own Drum. I've smoked Bugle. I've smoked Lucky Strikes. I've smoked... you name it, I've smoked it, basically, because all I wanted was that smoke.
Yeah.
And by the time I was going through fucking 3 packs a day, it was probably Newports or Marlboros.
Yeah.
But for my all-day vape, I remember every one of my all-day vapes, actually. I didn't give a fuck about the germs. I'm smoking a cigarette. Like, I didn't give a fuck. That's why people were like,
nobody,
oh my God.
nobody cared
You
about
didn't care
this
about
in the 80s and
infections
90s.
and
People are like, oh my God, this COVID, this. I'm like, I smoked cigarettes off the ground from people that
Yeah.
probably had fucking herpes, fucking hep, whatever the fuck. I'm fucking smoking it.
Yeah.
But no. My first all-day vape was MNTDU. It was from it was a Mountain Dew flavor that they couldn't spell it as Mountain Dew because of copyright, and it was from the kiosk. That was my first all-day vape, and then it was Frostfire, which was a cinnamon menthol. Which then I moved to
cinnamon menthol.
Blackout, which was a similar to one of my flavors, pomegranate, cranberry apple with a little bit of blueberry.
Now, how long did you stick with each one of those flavors?
Each
months,
one
years?
probably for a couple of months.
Okay.
Flavor profile. Once I got to Pluto from Space Jam, I used probably for about a year. And then for about 2 years, I used...
It was Space Jam's advertisement that got you, right?
No, honestly, back when it looked like the Space Jam before they rebranded?
Yeah. That creative team over there, boy, I tell you.
I saw watermelon bubble gum and I went, ooh. And then after that, it was Derailed from Suicide Bunny.
Suicide Bunny. Yeah.
Until the model on the bottle reminded me too much of my ex.
Don't you hate when that happens?
But it was also to the point that I was vaping it for like 2 years straight, and I would get before Vapor's tongue even really registered with me, I would just get like nauseous from vaping this peanut butter. What Derailed was a peanut butter cookie with banana, I think. And I was just all over that for a while, and then I switched from that to Tasty Cloud Dragonair. Does anyone remember that?
No.
It was a watermelon mojito. It was actually really... we used to call it dragon sperm because it definitely had like... whatever they mixed it with did not fully mix together. Yeah. So it was definitely a little...
shit floating in there?
No, it didn't have shit floating in there. It just looked a little... it looked a little weird. And then after that, let's skip forward a little bit. I was on Bigfoot from Premium Labs.
Yeah.
And then from there, I moved over to the Convicted Vapes line, Johnny's Juice, and then Strong Island. And on Strong Island, I vaped 120 mils every 3 days for 6 months of it was Lucky Charms cereal. And this was back when I was dripping. That cotton would be black. I'm not talking brown. I'm talking black within the course of a half an hour.
Yeah.
It was so good. And then from there, it was just, whatever. Now I'm on ever since I had that fucking spearmint menthol from VV Vapes, I'm on a fucking spearmint menthol kick.
I had to put that stuff away. I got so hooked on that spearmint vape. I had to stop because I started noticing that I was getting back into that 20 mil, 25 mil day range because I'm usually about 10, maybe 15 if I'm having a shitty day. But for some reason, when I got that spearmint vape from...
it's just you enjoy it so much.
I was like, the fucking 30's gone. What the hell happened?
Now, were you a menthol smoker?
No, I smoked non-filtered Camels, and then I switched to filtered Camels. So I'm starting to see a little of a trend. I think the guys that smoked the lights, it seems like they were okay not finding that all-day vape. And I think people like you and myself that were
The
smoke
heavy
smoker, the
dark
rich
flavors.
tobacco flavor
Mhm.
smoker needed to have something that tasted similar every single day, or it wasn't going to help. It didn't help me unless I had something that didn't necessarily have to taste like a Camel, but I had to have that consistency, that flavor, that same flavor every single day.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brian. What was Brian's?
My all-day vape.
Was it important to you too as well?
Yeah. So up here, okay, people kind of know like 503, which is like right behind me. So them and another company, which was up here, which is Infinite Vapors. That's kind of where I started at, and I actually would use green apple and root beer were my two favorites all the time, and my Nautilus Mini, and then I wouldn't switch from those flavors. I actually started mixing those. No, I didn't mix those two. I mixed banana and root beer together, and that was delicious.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my all-day vape. I would either do one or the other or mix them together. Like when I get bottles were really low, you're like, oh, I just need to like fix them together. So I just pour them together and just call it a day. I did that. And then after that, I actually would use Vaping Twisted 420 had liquids out. And that one of them that I used all the time was called Fruity Rebels. I use that one all the time. That was
you used to have a one. That's right.
Cloud's Voyage. That's good
Yep.
shit right there.
That was same line as Vaping Like a Sir or something like that, or whatever. He had like 4 of them there. Then after that, I went to a liquid line after that, and it was by Dripstar. And I used those all the time because I knew the people who made that was actually based up here, so I wanted to support them.
Now, were these
And-
the same thing? Was it something you had to have for a month, 2 months, a year?
Absolutely, yep. These were like 6 months to 6 to 9 to almost a year stints on these.
Right.
And Dripstar had one called Johnny Waffles. I should see if I can find it.
Johnny Waffles. I like that name.
Yeah. So, funny story. They had to change the bottle a few times because of the factor that it was based off of the Super Troopers movie.
Super Troopers.
Oh no!
And it actually had a monkey with his middle finger out on the bottle.
Oh, I remember those guys.
They
Yeah.
were really pushing the
Yep.
limit.
I think we fucked on them a little bit.
Yep. There's another one called Vaping Douche was one of the other liquids. White Girl was another one. Yeah, these were things, and they happened. And then
Oh
they
yeah,
had,
these are all the things.
yeah, and they had to change all their bottles because things happened, and labels and stuff, and they made clean labels after that. But that was the cool thing. Back in the day, you're like, this is awesome. Bring them to the bar, bring them out with people. They're like, what is that? Oh, that's what the hell? And like you would show them, and you would get looks, and people would either love it or hate it. It was no in between. And the people who loved it, that's what sold. Like that's exactly how it was. People wanted those things. And Johnny Waffles was a banana waffle one, and it was pretty damn awesome.
I remember you got
banana waffles.
E-Juice.
I'll see if I can
All right.
find him. I've got him around here somewhere.
Killer name, though. Johnny Waffles is such a good name, though, man. All right, we're going to jump into an advocacy question. And we're going to start with the advocacy man himself down there at the bottom there. To help the newbie get into advocacy, what would you say your top 3 things to do to start them off with? What were the 3 things you need to kind of ease them into advocacy? Your 3 important things.
Easing them into advocacy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, we got to figure out something.
I don't know if easing into advocacy is a thing anymore.
I don't know if we need to twist their arms, but something to help. Let's be honest, because I'm gonna put it in a nutshell here. there's some of us. I mean, Tim has talked about it. He's said it before. He wasn't big into politics prior to getting into vaping, and I think that applies to a lot of people that are in this industry. They've never had to deal with it. They don't care. Most of them don't vote. Most of them can't even tell you who their mayor is in their city. Couldn't tell you who their governor was, and they could care less who their governor was.
Let's go one step further. I bet they don't even know who their representatives are.
They don't. I mean, it's bad enough when you don't even know who your mayor is. So
we don't have a mayor.
Well, yeah, you live in one of those.
We have a county executive.
County executive. It's too small for a mayor. There it is.
Oh yeah.
Look at the aging on that bottle, though, dude.
Oh yeah.
All right, Brian.
That's a nice frosted Boston Rounder too.
You love the frosted bottles. Not gonna lie, fully sealed yet.
You need to hit that during the show, buddy. What's the expiration date on the bottom of that bottle, bud?
Oh, that's 2013.
Yeah,
2014 easily.
So
that'd be good. I ain't worried, to be honest.
He pulled out an old bottle.
You got the newbie. He doesn't know anything. How do you ease him into this transition?
I don't.
For me,
I don't ease him.
Matthew.
I don't ease it in. I'm going in dry. I'm going in rough, and he's going to take it.
I was going to go somewhere else with that, but I'm going to keep the show rated PG-13.
And the reason why they're going to take it is because if they don't take it from me, they're going to take it from the people that are trying to stop them from vaping. So I'll at least show you what to do. First off, you need to educate yourselves. Because if you don't know, you can't counteract someone's argument. You can't prove someone wrong if you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So the first thing I would say is look up your information.
Yeah.
Look up what the Royal College of Physicians says. Look up what the New England Journal of Medicine says. Captain Nasty, what up? Look up, as much as you can. If you don't know what you're talking about, you're going to just be another one of those vaping douche guys that get stepped on, like fucking Tommy Smokes thought I was. Second, you have to get engaged. Every post, every tweet. If you're not on Twitter, get on Twitter. Follow vaping. Follow Truth Initiative. Follow, follow the enemies. Campaign for tobacco-free kids until they block you. Pave until they block you.
Until they block.
I'm blocked from all these people.
I'm officially blocked from the California one now. I cannot comment. I can see the posts on Facebook. I'm not allowed to comment any longer.
Oh no, I'm talking on Twitter. Once you're blocked on Twitter, you can't even see their page.
Yeah, I still see the ones on Facebook, but they blocked me on Facebook, so I could see their post, but I can't comment. I'm blocked from commenting.
Follow these people, and whenever they spout their bullshit, their nonsense, their propaganda, their fucking the worst shit, stomp their face in with facts. Yeah. Stomp their face in with knowledge that you have, with evidence, with
get on there, Luke.
Anything you can do. Third, and this is the hardest part, you have to let shit go. It will consume you. It will ruin friendships. It will ruin relationships. It will ruin your life.
Yeah.
You have to be angry, lash out on them, and then you have to let it go. Because otherwise, if you brood on it, if you let it consume you, then you turn into me.
Yeah.
But there are benefits of this too. Like John was saying, I didn't get into politics before this. I could give a fuck less about the politics. Well, I could give a fuck less about politics now because it's all corrupted bullshit. But you see the truth behind things. You know, one of the biggest arguments people are talking about right now are the whole Juul situation in North Carolina with the settlement. You know, people still think Juul is the enemy. Yes and no. You know, you have to look at things as who's the real enemy. The real enemy is the tobacco control people who are trying to make an MSA 2.0.
Yeah.
Juul will sign on to that MSA 2.0 to be protected and to
Yeah.
continue doing what they're doing. If you look at the actual MSA, those that are in agreement to it are protected against those who aren't, which is part of the reason why vaping's taken such a big hit, because we're not part of the MSA. What we're going to see is the people who are going to throw the rest of the industry over under the bus.
He like
to quote Thorin from The Hobbit, we like the dark.
He
Dark
likes the
for
dark.
dark business.
I like that line in that movie.
That's not the movie. That's the book.
Go with let's go with the quiet one. He's waved. You shouldn't have waved, Tom.
Now you
gave yourself away.
I was listening to Matthew.
Yeah, you're too late, buddy. You fucking
When he
waved.
says the quiet one, nobody move and see what happens.
It's between you two. So he waved and it drew my eye to his face. So, Tommy.
What would I do to get people introduced into advocacy?
Well, let me ask you a first question. Were you into politics prior to this?
No.
Now, okay. Go ahead.
Like a lot of it will be the same as what Matthew said, just not as blunt.
Detailed?
Right. I mean, I would
Not
provide
as
some
blunt.
lube
I
at
love
least.
it.
I mean, I'll provide a little lube at least.
See, I was going to use that one, and I
Nope.
held back.
I use the tears and the blood as lube. I'm going in.
I held back when he said going in dry and hard. I was just like, oh, I got to hold back. I got to be a good boy.
It doesn't stay dry for long. The blood and the tears come.
No, join Twitter, follow all those accounts that Matthew said, get blocked by them. It doesn't take long. It really doesn't. Learn who your local politicians are, develop relationships with them, and pay attention and join CASA. And the biggest thing is pay attention to what the fuck is going on around you.
Know who your representatives are.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I forgot that one.
That too.
Know your fucking representatives. Have conversations. Have meetings with them. Example: my local legislator stood up in the middle of a hearing because they were trying to make it 25 in Suffolk County, and when they asked for his vote, he said, "Death to tyranny," and sat down. My dude's a savage.
Yeah. Anything else, Tom?
No.
All right. Let's go to our news correspondent, Tim.
Shout out to Tim, by the way. I just want to say, I see whenever you do the advocacy updates, the news, fucking good on you, man. You are doing the fucking work.
Tim's
Thank
the
you
man.
so much.
He's the man. We
Johnny,
can't hear
you
him.
Answer that question.
I answered. I told Matthew today that I get to pick the skull though, because I don't want a greasy skull. Go ahead, Tim. We still can't hear you, man.
Can't hear you, Tim.
It's the best he sounded in years.
No, it's
There it
you
goes.
know what happens. To
I
you.
know.
All these fucking super high-end mics and no one can hear shit. I'm using a fucking crappy $20 headset.
Well,
I can hear
it's a
just
long
fine,
story.
thank you.
It's a long story. No, I mean, I think that there's a lot of different angles you can take, but I think where it really starts is your ability to have the power to be a voter in your community, in your state, and even at the federal level, right? Because that's one reason why we pick the people that we pick to put into positions of power. Now, I'm not saying they won't get there and maybe, unfortunately, get corrupted along the way, but if you can believe them with an ounce, an ounce of salt, you got to put the people in power that are going to fight for you, that have your interest in mind, that understand exactly what it is you're fighting for, and they get facts, right? So that this has been mentioned several times by many people here, and that is get to know who your representatives are, even if you're just writing letters, even if you're just picking up the phone and making a phone call. Get in touch with them and talk about what matters to you most, right? Because if they're going to be against vaping, especially if they're already in office now, well, then why are you going to give them your vote the next time around, right? I mean, a lot of people say, well, I'm a single issue voter and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I do think that there's other things that you may want to consider in the broader spectrum of politics, but I do think it matters when you basically hold the power in your hand to decide who's going to represent you moving forward. So I think it starts there. Figure out where their stance is on vaping. At least just shoot it. You probably get on Facebook for half these guys through their websites and just say, hey, look, I'm a vapor. I've been doing this for 7 years. It got me off of smoking. I know facts. I know information. I've read lots of documents and studies and papers, and I have the facts to make a conscious decision. Where do you stand on vaping? And if they don't come back with some positive resolve, maybe you can continue to push forward to convince them otherwise, but I found that maybe that's sort of a futile effort. Then you go and find the candidate that does stand with you, and you go, I'm going to give that guy my vote, and try to change that aspect. Second of all, already mentioned CASA, right? Because you've got
the big one.
advocacy is a wide-ranging element. It's not, gosh bless the rallies and all the things that everybody did to stand in unity for the greater fight, but the legislation comes from all different corners, right? And you need to know where that's coming from. Is it coming from the federal level? Is it coming from your city? Is it coming from your state? Is it coming from your county? I mean, it's very sectional. You know what I mean? So CASA, I mean, basically that is a site that's free to sign up for, free to monitor, and the people that run that website are basically consumer advocates. They're not big, powerful CEOs and executives. Yeah, they have some intelligence and smarts and know a lot about what's going on, but they rely on you to give them information as well. Like if you hear rumblings in your town about a potential vape ban, they don't have enough eyes to follow that. But if you get on the CASA website, you can look at the federal level as well as your state level in terms of what your current vaping laws are, if there's any legislation on the table, or if there's any kind of an open commentary period where there's a hearing and things like that, make your voice known. So CASA number 2, all right? So representatives, CASA. And then 3, again, it's just going to echo what a lot of people here said is know your information, know your facts, and be vocal. Be outspoken. Too many people will just throw their hands in the air and not do little things, right? You may think that signing petitions sounds stupid and a waste of time. Well, if everybody had that mentality, then a petition would never work. But if everybody thought the opposite way and said, man, if we get everybody to sign this freaking petition, we might be able to make a difference. We might be able to make a change. So even though there's things that you think sound stupid, how can you have that conversation with anybody here who did sign it? Oh, it's a waste of time. Well, how do we know now? You didn't sign it. You weren't standing with us. I don't hate you, but yeah. I think in the same breath, I mean, I don't understand why you just wouldn't do something that takes 2 minutes to do. Put your name on the list, right? Beyond that, be vocal out on Twitter. That's where you're going to find the real contacts. That's where people actually stand behind their pages. The real people behind the accounts, not Facebook. Facebook, they're paying some dude $12 an hour or $100 a month to sit there and just crank out, crap that somebody gives him and he's sitting at home. Twitter, you actually get to talk to people. They may not respond to you, but that's fine. But when, like Matt said, when they put out their propaganda, it's usually a bunch of nonsense anyway. You can see right through it. It's garbage.
The interesting thing about Twitter,
and that's when you jump in there and you give a well-educated, reasonable response to counter the stupid stuff. And I guarantee you'll love it because you'll go on PAVE, you'll go on Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, you'll go on Truth Initiative, and they'll make a post, and you'll see like 6 likes, 4 shares. 4 of those shares are from us anyway, because we're sharing it to our page to get more people to comment on it. But all of the comments back and forth in it are just people refuting exactly what it is they're talking about. You don't have people on their side talking about it, so it's almost like they're just throwing shit against the wall to see what will stick.
Yeah.
And you hope that somebody will come along that's on the other side or uninformed or whatever, and they see all the commentary. So be vocal, you know. We talked about it last week in the article, right? Is that this is what these antis do. They want to bully you. They want that war of attrition. They want to beat you to the ground and get you to shut up and just throw in your white flag and walk away so they win. Don't let them win. You don't let them win. Then they take something away from you that you care about. That's me.
Yep.
I'm done.
Brian, where's your 3-step program? Look at he got. I thought he got scared and ran away.
I clicked the wrong button. We're good. So.
Fuck this.
When right. Hey Brian, what's been? No, I'm out of here. Screw it. So
you could just know what Matthew and Tim said.
No, well, yeah, kind of. Get to a point. So I approach things differently with people because you can't just push people in it and just throw them in the pool and make them like see if they swim. People like Matt, like I was saying. Like Matt was saying before, that we weren't really in politics until all this shit started. So we can't just expect them to like hop in to start doing shit. They need to be like hop in like by their own will and by what they want to do to help themselves. To be that engaged, to be very engaged with everything. So when you coach people and talk to them about all the ways to help the industry, what I did is I would talk to them like, how has this helped you? Is this actually helping you? It's helped me, and I can tell you how it's helped me. And you hang out with them, you talk to them, and when they discover it's actually working for them, that's when you say, hey, you know, let me see what else I can help you out with. Like what links can help you? Join our group. Let's talk about everything. Let's get you in with like people with you. We all discuss things, and then from there we all start pushing like, hey, can we all like just hit a like on this thing or like fill out this form real quick? Like that was the thing, like just to do these little things first. When you start doing those little things first, they start getting a little bit more engaged. They're like, oh, this is nothing now compared to like what I was doing. I'll just do a little bit more. And then pretty soon you have people that are going to rallies. Pretty soon you have people who are talking to the senators. Pretty soon, like instead of 4 people you go in to see somebody, you now have 12 to 15 to 20. And they all want a meeting all at the same time. That's where the impact happens. That's where, you know, all this stuff like, oh, this is actually a serious deal. Like, look at all these people here. That's how you show this stuff. And when you
then we get into other problems.
Yeah. Well, when you have them that engaged, it's more of they're doing it by their own will. They're doing by their own, like, hey, listen, scream at the door. This is actually helping me. I'll show you how. I'll tell you why. I have my own story. That's the kicker. I have my own story. Here's how it's helped me. Not like, right, hey, you know, these whole flavors are whatever, whatnot. Stick away from that stuff. What has it done for you? How has it helped you? You tell that story to anybody, they will listen because you're an actual human being. You have actual thoughts in your head. You have your own voice. You can tell your own story exactly the same way every single time. That's what I do.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Sorry, all right, it's a little rant, but that's
perfect. The last one, we're going to have fun with this one because I'm going to steal something from Tom. I'm stealing something from Tom. What's cheesing Tom is Tom's little segment. So each one of you, give me 3 things in vaping that are cheesing you off. Let's start with the guy that owns this segment, Tom.
The apparent over regulation or the attempt at overregulation, leave us the fuck alone. We were just fine. Some regulation is fine. I will admit that. But too much? Fuck off.
It could be about normal everyday stuff too. It doesn't have to be about vaping. So something else is pissing you off. This is your opportunity to get it off your chest right now.
Yeah, but there's really nothing else that's pissing me off outside of some vape things.
Yeah.
The whole pack that crap. I ordered some juice a couple days ago. It showed up today. I got charged for the signature. They didn't give me a signature. They didn't tell me to sign for shit.
See, Tom was just waiting there. Tom wanted to talk to somebody. He figured he was going to get his chance to talk to somebody today, and the mailman blew him off.
Because they don't care.
I talked to my dog today. Best conversation I had all week.
All week.
Thanks, Becky.
Thanks, Becky.
Well, with what she said.
Yeah.
And number 3, Juul. Just fuck off. Juul could just go to hell.
The company, not the product.
Right, the company.
The company can.
The product was great. It has its purpose for getting people to quit smoking. That is a great product. The company, fuck off.
All right, Timmy. Go ahead, Tim. It doesn't have to be about vaping. It could be just something that's pissing you off. It's your opportunity just to get it off your chest.
My broken AC and the parts shortage on HVAC replacement parts. That's what's pissing
You
me
wait
off
a
right
while
now.
on that one.
Yeah, no, I know. I got the scoop, and I don't. I think things are going to get worse here, real quick.
Gosh.
Anyway, that was a quick.
It's not
one.
like if you didn't have all those LEDs putting off heat, you'd be a lot better situation.
If you shut those LDEs, you're going to drop the temperature in that room by like 60 degrees, dude.
True, very true. But then I wouldn't enjoy the room nearly as much. It'd be you guys would be looking at me. I'd be like Matthew right now. I'd be sitting in the dark.
You know what the funny thing is? It's not actually dark in my room.
No, that's just the resolution on the camera. Okay, so my other one would be, and it was mentioned in the comments not that just a few comments ago. I would say it's the divide and conquer thing that we're succumbing to in terms of how they're fighting against us, and it's created division within the vaping community that people are now sort of taking sides on exactly what they stand behind or what they support. I mean, early on, you would hear about how the vape shops were thrilled that the online business was going to be shut down and that all the business was going to come back to them, and you got to turn around and go, fine, if that's the case and I got to start going to the vape shop, then let's turn vape shops back to what they should be about, and that is getting people to quit smoking, not just turning a buck and making a sale all the time. So I don't like the infighting that goes on. I feel like we don't accomplish anything when we're just bickering amongst ourselves, whether it's fighting about signing petitions or not. The infighting has gotten a little ridiculous. Let the trash take itself out. And then lastly, I would say this, and I don't mean this as a slight on anybody. I don't mean this as to speak from some elitist perspective or anything like that, but it's the lack of aggregate advocacy among the community that's waning, right? Because, Matthew's not going to fix it on his own. I'm not going to fix it on my own. And even if the two of us ran around screaming at the top of our lungs from all the rooftops, we're not going to get it done.
Fucking watch me.
Well, dude, you pick buildings up and throw them at politicians. I get that.
I make politicians run.
Exactly. But my point is that, people have seemed to either fall into a bucket of like, well, it's just about me. I'm worried about me. How am I going to go ahead and survive through all of this? Fuck everybody else. I don't care. You got your own problems. But yeah, it's just a lack of aggregate advocacy amongst the community that we preach around here. We're not making you do anything. I mean, we're just trying to highlight the idea that, it's better if you do it than if you don't do it, right? So, I mean, I think that would be it. And I'm going to say this, and please don't anybody take it the wrong way, right? Because I don't know.
I am.
That's fine. I'm just going to be 100 here for a second, and this is just how I felt about it for some time. And I'm not singling out any one particular person or any one particular thing. I'm just saying that, I think it's that lack of aggregate advocacy that kind of can't say for sure, but might have led us to where we are at this point, and that some of the struggles and the difficulties that we're going through, even though we were ruled by a bit of a heavy hand, our voices weren't loud enough, and so we're reaping what we sowed, right? And I'm just saying that in an honest sense of the word, is that, we should have been fighting the whole entire time and not just left it up to certain people to fight that battle. So I don't mean that to be disrespectful. I'm just saying karma got us in the butt a little bit.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
The Reaper.
Well, at least this way I don't get Facebook jailed again.
Yeah, you can't get put in jail here. Get it out. Get it out, Matthew.
First off, people need to stay in their own goddamn fucking lane. Worry about what the fuck you're doing. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't worry about what athletes are doing. Don't worry about what fucking people in the media are doing and shit. Worry about your own goddamn fucking lives. Worry about what you care about, whether it's vaping, whether it's fucking Second Amendment, whether it's alcohol, hell, whether if it's fucking drugs. I don't give a shit. Worry about what you care about. Don't worry about what the fuck I'm doing. Don't worry about what the fuck I'm posting. Don't worry about what the fuck I worship. Worry about what the fuck you're doing, number one. 2, the stupidity, the absolute stupidity of the fucking human race and society that we deal with on a daily fucking basis. Also, go back to number 1, but the stupidity of people actually believing that people care. That's the number one thing. No one cares.
Yeah.
The sooner people realize that, the better we are all going to be better off. Whole Britney Spears thing. Who gives a fuck? Because she's a celebrity. This happens every day to people. People are in abusive relationships, physical, sexual, mental, whatever the fuck you want to call it. No one gives a fuck about these people. But because a fucking celebrity's going through it, oh, free fucking Britney. Who gives a fuck?
Free Britney. Hashtag free Britney.
I don't give a shit. I hope everything works out. I really don't give a fuck if it doesn't. It doesn't affect me personally.
Yeah.
And I don't care if people are like, oh, well, that's a self-centered, conceited attitude to have. I'm a fucking Satanist. That's what I'm supposed to be. 3. Oof. 3.
Take a hit first. There you go. All right, Daniel. I'm not going to ask what you mean by she needs milk.
Unite or die. Simple. Unite or die. And what I mean by that is take it how you want it. Unite about joining together to stop the bullshit fucking government that we're dealing with. I don't give a fuck if you're a Republican, Democrat, fucking left, right, center, up a bird's ass. I don't give a shit. Unite or die. Because they got you by the balls. They're giving it to you dry every damn day. Or
True.
Unite as an industry or die. Because let me tell you something. I know how to make e-liquid. I got mods for fucking days. I don't need this shit. I'm good.
Yeah.
Hell, I'm on 0 milligram right now. I can fucking stop if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But I'm still fighting. Because, honestly, and you know what? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit about you. I don't.
Yeah.
Because people haven't been helping themselves. I no longer give a shit about them.
Yeah.
I care about the ability to have choice in general.
Hey, this show is never PG-13.
I cared about the ability for choice.
Choice.
So you want to smoke a cigarette? Smoke a fucking cigarette. You want a Juul? Use a Juul. You want to vape? Use a vape. You want to use fucking 50 milligrams salt? Use 50 fucking milligrams salt. I don't give a fuck. It is your choice, your
Your body.
individual body, mind, soul, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You are not hurting me. What I'm doing is not hurting you. But if you don't want to fight for it, then you deserve for it to go away. I'm good. I got my shit.
Yeah.
The fuck do you got? We got all these new vapors that don't even know dick all about questions I see posted up all the fuck over the place. Fuck Church of Vaping. That was a thing, and it was a complete fucking bullshit thing to try to skirt the regulations.
No,
The reality of it is this. The reality is this. If you don't want to help yourself at this point, go down to the store, pick up a pack of Marlboros, pick up a pack of Newports, smoke them, and blow it in your fucking child's face. Because that's what you deserve. If you don't want to fight for yourself, fuck you.
Yeah. Take a deep breath and relax now, Matthew. There you go.
I'm actually just going to mute my mic until...
Hey, Brian, I know that's kind of hard to come in after that, but do your best. What Matthew said.
That would be the easiest thing to do, man.
Mike.
Well, first, I'm gonna ask one thing. What was the question again?
What 3 things are cheesing you off?
It's gonna speed off a little bit, so I'm just gonna ask that real quick.
They don't have to be vape related, but what's cheesing you off today? What's cheesing you off? All the drop zones and variety service.
So here's the deal. Like, Matthew had a lot of great points. Like the ununity, like Tom had great points of like the whole diffusion of like people everywhere in different states, like all this stupid shit happening. The major thing that really just pisses me off is the censorship on social medias, where they actually block people who actually try to state something else. That's one thing that completely just irritates me. Like banning people, blocking people on Twitter, or the unfollowing. Like you have a Twitter post and like, oh, I don't like you, I'm just gonna block you, and then you can't post my shit ever again.
Yeah, I don't like.
There's a purpose for it, but the thing is though, like that, what we do and state the truth or state like actual scientific stuff about everything, and then they ban us because it doesn't fit their narrative. That's the thing that bugs me.
Yeah.
Okay. If we were actually able to state like, okay, here's this study, here's where it came from, here's Farsino study stuff, here's other stuff from Royal College of Physicians, all this stuff, then we could actually get the word out. But the thing is, like those people actually have priority of their Facebook accounts, their Twitter accounts, all that stuff, and they can just block people. Like John knows this, Matthew knows this, Tim knows this. If you mention anything else other than what they want, they block you. Then you can't post on their stuff. You can see what they write, but they block it all. So how is it's basically muting other people who don't have like opinions. That's when things get really segregated out, where you have say Kazaa and all other people like your Twitter, Matthew, John's, Tim's, and then you can post on their stuff. But the minute like somebody else who's against you follows you, and they're like, you're wrong and here's why, we don't ban them. They ban us. We don't ban them because we're like, hey, here's what's actually going on. I mean, there's things that's happened, and that's one thing that's one of the major things that irritates me is censorship, I should say. And even at council meetings, where one thing that really pissed me off, council meetings where you go in there and you have your 2-minute say, but then other people who have the ability to sit there and talk for like 5-10 minutes, but you only get 2 minutes. Yeah. But then when you bring up, hey, I want more time because of the fact of this, nope, you're just a citizen. Here you go. That's that.
Yeah,
that's a big thing that bugs me too. Those are 2 really big things that bug me about everything right now. If we can all band together to be doing a lot of that stuff and pushing back, I think it'd be a little different story.
I only have one right now that's pissing me off. Is I'm technically not going to be able to drive my car for a while because I don't have my original birth certificate. So because I don't have my original birth certificate, but yet I've had my license since I've been 16, and I have been John Troncalli my whole entire fucking life, I no longer can get a valid new California driver's license without having my birth certificate, which I
John,
don't have.
I have a question for you on this subject. Actually,
So do I.
Land of the free, ain't it?
is this a real ID thing?
Yeah, the California Real ID. You cannot get one in California. You need a letter, a couple letters that show you live in that area. You need all this other bullshit. Plus, you need your fucking real birth certificate, which I don't have anymore. It cannot be a copy. So I have to pay $25 to have a real birth certificate sent to me from Philadelphia, where I was born, to get an ID or a driver's license that I have owned since I've been 16 years old. The DMV knows who I am. I haven't moved but twice in my fucking life from house to house, but yet I need that driver's license to prove I am who I've been since I've had my driver's license. That's the only thing that's pissing me.
My question is, John, do you know how much it's going to cost to ship it from Philadelphia to California? Because it's going to be chiseled out of fucking stone.
Right?
40 bucks.
Oh, you went there.
Right?
Wow.
Well, no, he didn't go there. It's all on chat. But anyways, besides the point.
Yeah, I see
But-
that.
But John, I was in the same situation. I have a CDL too. Same thing. So I had to go through the whole rigmarole of renewing all my driver's license.
Yeah.
So same thing. I needed a birth certificate. I needed where I lived and all that stuff. My issue was I thought I was born in my state.
Uh-oh.
During this
How the fuck
time,
do you not know where you're born?
follow with me here, Matthew. I'll explain the story.
Brian was
During this time, I didn't talk to my folks. I was not in speaking terms. We did not talk. I had 10 years I didn't talk to them. Okay. So I was not going to call her up and be like, hey, where am I? What's going on here? And I talked to my aunt, and my aunt's like, no, you were born in Fargo, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, cool. So I talked to the state of North Dakota, like we went every direction. And they did not have a copy of all my stuff. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, what happened?
You were adopted.
And so the deal is, like, where I live, like, there's 2 states by a river. Same like DC, has that little river there, 2 cities type thing. And so apparently my birth certificate was actually in another state. And so I had to go over to that one finally and get that sent to me, pay the same money, get that sent to me.
Yep.
Because, not speaking terms, my mom actually had it. Didn't talk to her about it. Didn't want it. So I had to have that sent to me, same thing. And finally, after that, I could actually have my license actually. Test tube. That's funny. But no, I actually had that sent to me, and then I had paid the same money just like you and everything else like that. And renewing my license was actually late because of that.
Yeah.
And I had to explain to my state why I was late.
Yeah.
That was a fun conversation.
And they don't.
So yeah, that was. I understand you. I get it. I understand.
To me,
Sucks.
it's all bullshit because the type of license I have to get fingerprinted every fucking 5 years. I have to do all this bullshit to keep my license, so to prove who I am. But now all of a sudden, I have to get it even more proof to prove who I am. The same person has had this fucking license since he's been 16, has lived in the same city since he's been 16. It's ridiculous. And
fuck have you lived in the same city for that long?
I love my city. I grew up in Philadelphia until I was 12, but moved out here. I'm glad I moved out here.
No, I get that. But
Yeah.
from 16 to whatever the fuck now, you're like
53, yeah. I love where I live. Tim doesn't live too far from where he grew up, right, Tim?
I'm like 9 hours from my
Yeah.
stomping ground. But I moved.
But he's
fuck,
moved.
I would scorch earth the entire goddamn place if I was fucking 16 to 50.
Well, John, here's the funny thing is that I could go in there and actually get an ID. Not a problem. I could go in there and get
No, not here. Not here.
Yep. Here I could get my
yeah.
ID, not a problem. I showed him my old driver license.
Yeah.
I actually did an ID and showed that to him too before that again. that it would not take either of those. I'm like, I just had this printed. Nope, that's not how it works.
It has to be this.
Even
Yes, same way in New York. New York's actually, I think, even worse.
Yeah, California, even if you're just going in to get your California ID, you still need that birth certificate, or you won't be able to get into federal buildings, airports, a bunch of shit, dude. So it's going to be pretty much like your passport here pretty soon. So.
Well, soon it's going to happen. Never mind. Not going down that route.
Yeah. Well, we're going to jump into news and advocacy with Mr. Tim Swift. Tim, are you ready, Tim?
I've been ready.
All right.
I was born ready.
Uh-oh. I don't know about that.
Rapid fire tonight.
Fucking timeout. I'm going to hit the button again, and you're going to do it right this time.
John doesn't understand a good segue.
Oh, okay.
We were getting to that.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to upset the fans.
You just threw off my whole entire monologue. And you're asking me if I'm the one who was ready. You were just not ready for that curveball.
I didn't want to upset the fans.
They're
For
not. They
how
know.
hot
They
it
know
is
it's
over there.
coming.
I'm surprised the papers didn't curve on you. So.
Look,
No,
tap,
they
tap,
are
look,
a little
tap,
stuck
tap.
to each other. Yeah.
tap, tap,
See,
tap.
everybody knows it's coming. It's like it was a cliffhanger moment. I just wanted to see people like on the edge of their seat for the tap. You had to come in.
So-
Anyway, we'll go back. We'll
Quick question.
rewind.
Is this like how you are in bed too? Like you?
Oh, God.
Brian, I'm not gonna tell you any of that information. That is completely.
Why do you want to know?
I was gonna say tonight has had too many innuendo moments, so I'm just gonna leave that where it is. And again, rapid fire tonight. Rapid fire news, right? We got 3 stories in the pipeline for you. Okay, so hold on. And anybody care to gather whether or not we're gonna hate on Jewel tonight? Anybody want to place any?
I'm going yes.
It's a yes from John.
Yeah,
I'm
Across
gonna
the
say
board.
no.
Okay, Tommy went with no.
Yes.
Okay, that's 2 yeses, 1 no. Matthew.
I don't hate on Jewel.
Okay, so that means no. Is basically what that means. We're not hating on Jewel tonight.
All right.
Oh, so sorry to disappoint everybody out there in Jewel hater land.
Boom.
Okay, instead we're going to talk about IQOS
Oh,
and
the
Philip Morris.
Tim threw a curveball in there, dude.
Well, because it's way too easy to find articles about Jewel and the issues that they're having, and I think we've covered everything that they are kind of going through amongst the lawsuits, and then
Has there
paying
been
for all
anything else
those.
since North Carolina? Besides the fucking studies?
No, I mean they settled out of court on that one, and I think it's just going to start going through the grist mill at this point. So I mean they're basically going to go up and try to get out of going to trial, and then just probably try to settle out of court. But we'll see if someone's able. I think I read one story last week where a judge upheld a particular decision, so I don't know if they're going to be able to get out of it on that one. But
Quick question.
we'll
Has anyone tried an IQOS before?
negative Ghost Rider.
No.
Anyone in chat?
Yeah, if anyone in chat has tried it, let us know.
I haven't. I know people who have though.
I mean, I've used one.
All right. But let's talk about the obvious, right? I mean, because this is the one thing
Oh, fucking
that has
hell,
been
targeting teens.
yeah. So this is an ABC News article, so it is it is mainstream media. They're going to run with any particular kind of story that's probably in the negative sense of the word. Now I understand why Matthew doesn't hate on Juul. And that is the fact that it is tobacco harm reduction. It may be the device that gets you off of smoking. So you can't hate on the product
I don't
necessarily.
hate on the IQOS either.
Right. And that's really the idea behind IQOS. It's really sort of like how the wolf in sheep's clothing is going to save themselves, right? Because, you got the big bad wolf that is the tobacco companies, and now they're going to bring along these heat not burn devices. I'm sure everyone's heard about it, knows about it. Basically, it doesn't use combustion. You have this pen-looking device that takes these little tobacco sticks and you put it in there, and it basically just heats up the tobacco stick, aerosolizes the tobacco, and then delivers to you your nicotine. And then they never said what, But we'll
Sorry, that
talk
finger
about.
was for the New York Delta variant thing. I have to deal with that shit all the time now.
I'm sure. But there's also other additives and chemicals involved in that. It's not an e-liquid, so there's all kinds of stuff. So there's been arguments back and forth about whether or not they're actually in fact better, safer and a safer alternative. Anytime you're not using combustion is a safer alternative, whether it's smokeless tobaccos or snus, or that's the smokeless tobacco. But you get the idea. So, but this is an article basically kind of propping themselves up to say that this could very well be the next demon in the pipeline. So the popularity of traditional cigarettes, particularly among teens, has declined tremendously in the last decade. But then that reoccurring data talking point, while e-cigarettes have been on the rise, all the while illegal for them anyway. But yeah, I mean, they're kids. They're going to experiment. Heat not burn tobacco products are now entering the marketplace and are poised to be the next popular smoke-free alternative. We shall see. I don't think there's any real data to substantiate that yet. The heated tobacco cigarette produces, I already said this, an aerosol with nicotine as well as other chemicals and additives. So, but the problem with this is that people are starting to see signs of similar behavior by the tobacco companies, right? Because the whole idea, long before the MSA and all that is you had the tobacco companies going in front of Congress and convincing people that these things were totally safe. They're going to try to do the same exact thing here. However, what they're trying to do is they're trying to kind of paint it in a pretty picture. Not only are they FDA approved, which we are not, they are actually able to market this particular product, but they're packaging it in such a way to kind of make it not look as ominous. Like it doesn't have flames on the side of it and cool stuff,
Yeah, they're doing what we should have done.
Correct. And in the sense that they're trying to give it a very clean, very modern, very sleek kind of look that is, in their mind's eye, not targeting children and not giving them attractive packaging to make it sound really attractive. So they're trying to make it look much cleaner. But there are a lot of experts that will come back and say that tobacco companies are attempting to glamorize these products all the time. Well, of course, they want your money, right? If they don't sell shit to you, then they don't make any money. So, yeah, that's where it goes next, right? How are they going to market these things differently? Are we going to start seeing them pop up in commercials? They're going to end up being in magazines. With marketing tactics like clean, modern, minimalist packaging, the idea is to make them look less harmful than traditional cigarettes. There's only one device that's currently on the market right now. That is IQOS, that was approved by the FDA. But I imagine there's the precedent now. So you're probably going to see more of them fall in line. I think there are other companies that have them now, but they're just not here in America yet. Philip Morris states that this product is not for the youth, and they will take the steps to ensure that they don't market to the wrong demographic. Okay, well, say what you want to say. Heat not burn products have only been on the market for 2 years, since 2019, but they are already catching the attention of high school students. Okay, so apparently there's been some studies done. Nearly 1 in 10 of 12th graders, they've already heard about these products, with the vast majority saying that they're seeing them in social media channels or on the internet in general. So they've seen the pictures, they know what's going on, they're aware that that's out there. To date, only one survey notes that less than 1% of California teens has tried a heat not burn device. Well, that's not national. I don't know. I've never actually gone in a store and looked for it. So
They're not
I don't
available nationally yet.
Okay, so they're only in certain states.
They were only allowed to be sold in certain states as far as trials are concerned.
Okay.
The IQOS store basically looks like an Apple store. If it's a direct,
Wonderful.
It's so clean and white and like it looks like a high-end Apple store.
But it looks adult.
It is so adult. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you have to give an ID to get in. It's like going to a dispensary.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. I mean, problem is, it doesn't matter what it is. It'll find its way, trickle down.
Wrong hands. Yeah.
I mean, the kids will get it and they will try it. And I don't doubt that. I think we all screwed off and tried things we weren't supposed to do. So, I mean, it's just the point is that this is another thing that is on the radar for the antis to attack, whereas we might support it because that person may not choose vaping, they may choose IQOS, and that's what helps them quit. But there's a counterpoint to all that. Almost 1 in 5 students surveyed said that they would try it if a friend offered it to them. This number doubled for students who had already used or tried e-cigarettes. So kids that already vaped said, yeah, yeah, I'll try it. I'll try anything once, right? Bulletproof, right? So while the tobacco companies are marketing these as a better alternative to smoking cigarettes, they still contain the same amount of nicotine and give off a secondhand aerosol, which is unsafe to breathe. But they say that about vaping too. To that point, it's a little unfortunate because they actually have the ability to tell you that it's better for you than smoking, where we can't do that in the vaping community. We're basically under wraps with all that stuff. But again, to the point about it has the same amount of nicotine, if this truly does become some form of a cessation device, it's going to take that level of nicotine to get someone to transition anyway. They're not going to be able to drop from 24 milligram per whatever down to 3 or 6. More than likely, they're going to go to like a Nick Salt or something like that. Scientists believe these devices are just another way to trade one crutch for another and won't promote cessation. They just think that people are going to transition to this, and in their mind's eye, it's the same thing as smoking. There's no long-term studies on these things, so they can't say whether or not they're as damaging as cigarettes. Time will tell. These devices, here's the other propaganda element. I cannot confirm nor deny this. This is in the article. There's nothing to substantiate it, other than the fact that it says these devices supposedly contain carbon monoxide, acetone, ammonia, and benzene. That's the claim that was made at the bottom. My takeaway on that was I said the kids will try these too, but since they are approved and the government gets paid off of them, you won't hear the Andes talking about it too much. Nor will there be a big media blitz and government assault on them to get them off the market. They are lining pockets and keeping people rich and in power. So there's that, right? Probably.
So thing with the IQOS, the
Yeah.
heat sticks.
Yeah.
To the best of my knowledge, unless things have changed, heat sticks are listed under the MSA.
I would imagine so because it's a
It's
tobacco
an
product.
actual. So for anyone who doesn't know what an IQOS is, think of a half a cigarette, right? A shorty. Think of a shorty cigarette that goes inside of a herbal vaporizer device, and you press a button, and it starts heating the tobacco inside of it, and you smoke it. It tastes 100% like a cigarette. It tastes like you're using like an ultra light, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, compared to, say, Caliburn, right, or any pod system, where you can turn it on, turn it off when you're not using it. Once you turn it on, it activates until it is done. So there is no turning it off and saying, I will try this later. The IQOS is also very expensive. I do not see just from my understanding, I do not see teens being able to afford it.
Right.
Yep.
Because not only is the IQOS expensive, but the heat sticks are expensive as well.
Right.
Anyone who has used any vapor product is not going to switch over to an IQOS.
No.
And actually, there was a leaked letter. We're going back a little bit, that from a meeting that said the IQOS will flourish in areas where there are flavor bans and other vapor bans. That is the reason why they were doing these, because Philip Morris was rolling out the IQOS. It took off big overseas, but vaping's also banned in those areas.
Yeah.
Right.
So-
Well, that's exactly the thing. I mean,
Is
once you
that
have
true
a
right
void,
there?
Yes,
that
you
true?
have about 4 minutes to use it, or 16 puffs worth.
Wow.
So Matthew, it's like having a cigarette on like an infinite cigarette lighter at the end.
it's like lighting a cigarette, and you
Just
can't.
like-
I mean,
well,
you
not-
can
not
tap it
cigarette
out
lighter,
if you want.
like
Yeah.
a car cigarette lighter at the end.
Yes. Does anyone remember? No, because the car cigarette lighter actually burns it.
Well,
Right.
right, but in concept, kind of.
Does anyone remember the Eclipse?
Oh.
No, not me.
The Eclipse was a heat not burn device back in the day. It never ashed or anything, but you smoked it.
No.
But yeah, the best way to put it is a herbal vaporizer device that vaporizes cigarettes.
Right.
Because that's what it is. It's tobacco rolled in VG and PG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you're getting from it.
If you guys have any real questions about what the device is or what it does, it's IQOS. You can just Google it, and I guarantee you'll get to plenty of places about it. You can just at least see what it looks like and how it works. But yeah, so the kids are gonna love that too, right?
Yeah.
The kids are doomed.
Also,
They're all good.
for the record, the place where these fucking kids are seeing all this shit is from the fucking tobacco control groups posting it on social media.
Yeah.
Because no one fucking posts IQOS shit for fucking dumbass fucking Timmy and fucking Tammy and Johnny and Jimmy and Jane to fucking look at.
Yeah.
All right? You're not going on Spotify and seeing IQOS.
No.
Fuck
Well,
out of here.
well,
I hate
Matt-
all of them.
Matt,
Get the
that's a
fuck
question
out.
I actually had quite a while ago. I'm actually working with Lindsay actually on this because that data is kind of hard to find. But anyways, my question was do I think that the uptick on teen usage has actually taken off since the news stories have broken on national TV? Yes,
Yes.
but I'm trying to
That's
find
their
data
plan.
to back it up.
That's their plan.
Of stories say, "Hey, don't do this," and they see it and they're like, "I need to do this."
Of
my
course, that's just
correlation.
natural for kids. Once
You
you
tell a
make
kid
it a
not to do something,
taboo,
he's gonna go.
they're gonna try it.
Mhm.
I guarantee. If Lindsay's probably already got all this data, I can't believe this is one segmented piece
Well,
of data she doesn't have.
No, it's not one she doesn't have because I talked to her about it, and it's like the articles to correlate are really hard to find up by year and all that stuff. There's a lot more to it than that, but I've been
Dude,
working
it's
with her.
human nature. I don't know if there's an actual
Absolutely.
measuring stick
So the
for it. I
reason
mean,
why you're not going to find that data, and I'm going to call it now, you're not going to find it, is
Yep.
because this was the play the whole time.
Mhm.
You have to have a problem in order for these groups to exist.
Right.
These groups only exist as long as there is a problem. So what do? We pump the kids full of vape shit saying that don't do it, so the kids fucking do it, so there continuously is a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
The best advertisement is worst advertisement, and then also at the same time you have a coliseum full of underage kids, and you have somebody then saying, "Hey, this is a problem. Y'all don't do this," and they're like, "Well, what is that? Where can I find that? Let me try it." That's what's happening.
Also, the fact that it just said that Tim, what was it? 1 in 5
Yeah.
kids wanted to try it.
Yeah.
So 1 in 5 admit that they're going to break the law
Yeah.
by using this product, and nothing happens to them.
Yeah. Almost 1 in 5 students surveyed said they would try it if a friend offered it to them, and
1
that's
in
where it's
5
going to come
students
from.
need to be fucking smacked across the fucking head.
All right, so let's move along. All right, enough on the IQOS. This one comes. These are more opinion pieces, but I always like this guy's commentary. Typically, he writes very long-winded articles, so a lot of times I don't report on him. He comes from a magazine called Filter Mag. It kind of looks like Jesus.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, this is the guy that did the New York vaping black market.
Yeah. I mean, he's very insightful, and he definitely comes with all the facts and stuff. This was basically just him reporting on the WHO, World Health Organization, and just their propaganda machine, because it pretty much starts at the top. But I think you'll get to kind of see a little bit more of exactly how this landscape works. I mean, and how people are in each other's back pockets. We don't have billions of dollars, but there are people that do, and they have agendas that they are trying to peddle. So on July 27th, the World Health Organization released their 8th report on the global tobacco epidemic. You ever notice that everything that's a problem is now a pandemic, an epidemic? Everything is made to sound way more ominous than it really
Epidemic
is.
was a focus group that they discovered. That's the trigger word, and that's why they started using it.
Right. So, ooh, epidemic. Ooh, let's all be scared. We know it's not true. So highlighted was the need to tackle threats posed by new nicotine and tobacco products, right? So anything new that's coming on the market, people are trying to do work for good in a lot of ways, and they basically just think that these are a bigger threat than the actual product that they really are reluctant to even remove anyway. I did not report on the Philip Morris article. Apparently, the CEO said that they're looking to eradicate cigarette sales overseas in the next decade or something like that. Like basically, they're going to have all of their products off the shelf. Excuse me. So they did use a bunch of comic book tactics, like with cartoons and stuff. Like I think they mentioned that there was right there. It says, amid a series of ominous tweets, including one featuring a toy duck wearing a vape-on hat and another with an e-cigarette used as bait in a mousetrap. They did use a lot of comic book tactics. The agency emphasized that while some countries are making strides in the fight against tobacco, they noted that some still need to address new products like e-cigarettes. I wanted to read this comment from this guy here. Everybody say it with me now. Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. I think I got close. I'm close. I'm in the ballpark. We'll just run with it. He is the general director of the WHO, and he said in a press statement, electronic nicotine delivery systems are harmful and must be better regulated. Where they are not banned, governments should adopt appropriate policies to protect their populations from the harms of electronic nicotine delivery systems and to prevent their uptake by children, adolescents, and other vulnerable groups. Of course, right?
Yeah, because they want cigarettes to sell, so they can. Oh, you fucking bastards! I hate them so much.
Yeah, I know.
That particular gentleman.
Right there, the report funded by Bloomberg.
Yeah.
Oh, don't ruin that. We were going to get to that.
I have
it was right there.
No, I know. The visual aid was already up. So it is true. All right, so we're going to get to that. So the point is that the report was funded by none other than Bloomberg Philanthropies and its targeted countries who are part of the SCTC, which in non-acronym terms is the Framework Convention on Tobacco Control. So basically, it kind of starts there. We've heard it talked about as being the head of the dragon. This is really where the policies are generated and developed, and this is what the larger conglomerate of the globe follows. So the principal guidelines are right here. It says its principal guidelines are known as, it's a treaty basically. 182 parties, over 90% of the planet's population is signed on to this garbage. Its principal guidelines are known as Empower, monitor tobacco use and prevention policies, protect people from tobacco smoke, offer help to quit tobacco use, warn people about the dangers of tobacco, enforce bans on tobacco advertising, promotion, and sponsorship, and raise taxes on tobacco. So that's basically what that this whole treaty is about. So the FCTC was drafted long before vaping flooded the market, but the WHO wants the guidelines to apply to any nicotine delivery device across the board. So they're coming after anything that's got nicotine in it. They want it all to be treated exactly the same. The problem is with the strategy, it tends to translate to the WHO advocating for prohibition or rendering less harmful products obsolete. So they keep talking about the harms of tobacco, so people come out with less harmful resolutions, and then they just want it gone. They want it banned. So I mean, if that doesn't open
there to be a problem, so they continue to get the funding.
Exactly right. I mean, yeah, the right. I mean, it's right in front of your face. I mean, there's no denying it, right? The WHO continues to ignore experts' advice on the vaping alternatives. So things like the Royal College of Physicians, Cochrane Library, anybody who's advocated on the less harmful aspects of vaping, that have studies that prove it as such, they ignore those experts. They just completely turn a blind eye. All the while touting that they push harm reduction strategies. So it's a little counterintuitive and hypocritical. Cliff Douglas notes that the WHO continues to take a short-sighted, unscientific approach towards harm reduction and dismisses the concerns of millions of adult users who have quit smoking due to vaping or other less harmful methods. But shoveling billions of dollars towards the WHO, Bloomberg has effectively rented the WHO as their mouthpiece for that anti-scientific, unethical bias or idea. Sorry. I wanted to read Dr. Garner, or he's not a doctor. I guess it's this guy here. So disturbingly, or is it this comment I wanted to read?
I don't know. Which one?
Well, we'll read them both. We'll just
Right.
kill because I couldn't remember. Disturbingly, World Health Organization continues to ramp up its efforts to destroy the one version of harm reduction whose potential far surpasses that of all others to reduce illness and save lives globally. Cliff Douglas, the director of the University of Michigan Tobacco Research Network and the American Cancer Society's former vice president for tobacco control, told Filter. His final comment here was, rather than acknowledge the potential of alternative nicotine delivery products to reduce morbidity and mortality within thoughtful regulatory regime, he continued, the World Health Organization continues to take a short-sighted, unscientific approach that appears to dismiss the legitimate concerns of millions of adult smokers across the globe. So kind of read that comment anyway. According to those who have read the report, I have not read the report. I will go back and do that later. I did not do that today.
You promised?
I will.
Okay.
The author of this article did say that it didn't take long to get into the to the report from the World Health Organization to see all the hallmarks of all the same bullshit propaganda they push out. So he said, according to those that have read the report, the opening pages push activist talking points and false and misleading statements, as well as really poor policy ideas targeted at vaping and other low-risk alternatives. Who's not on your side, folks? Not in this particular case. I don't know that they're on your side at all. Anyway, they like to be a big control faction. Anyway, they're bought and paid for by billionaires, obviously, right? Bloomberg. So there's that. All right, now let's move on to the advocacy article. I don't know what advocacy you can actually do right now. I just want to report on this one because it's now signed into law by the mayor. Is that DC finally?
Oh yeah, let's fucking go.
Sign into
I
law
used to
the
live in
ban on the
DC.
sale of menthol cigarettes.
Let me tell you what that's
I lived there almost all my life.
Let me tell you how that's going to
Oh,
go.
I think that's it. Yeah. Go ahead.
So, DC is worse than parts of New York City as far as crime, gangs, and bootlegging.
Yep.
Like I told the mayor on Twitter and other people, DC shoots back.
Yeah.
They don't do this whole there will be no Eric Gardners.
Yeah.
There will be dead cops. There will be dead drug enforcement officers. There will be dead taxation. Whatever you call it, they shoot back.
Yeah.
You are going to find what happened in Ocean City, Maryland, nothing compared to what happened in DC.
Talking about the tasing incident of the kid on the boardwalk.
Until they remove menthol cigarettes and only keep flavored vapor products.
Right.
We know it's coming.
Yep.
Give it a couple months. They're going to ratify it and remove menthol cigarettes because of exactly what we're saying it's going to do.
Right. No, he's right. He's right. That's what I'm saying is, I mean, I could go right to my takeaway on this one. As I said, in regard to, I said, take it for what it's worth. Crime will increase when the black market, or as the black market takes hold, and people can still leave the district and go to neighboring states to get what they want. Nothing will change. Point is, though, you're not going to have too much to stand on when you're going to confront somebody in D.C. Try going to Southeast sometime.
Yeah.
Southeast. I know it very well.
I wish you all the luck in the world. All I can tell you, my story is they call me Ponytail. That was my nickname down there. Anyhow, we won't go into other details. All I'm saying to you is that this is exactly, and now the mayor is kind of pushing her pretty face, words and saying that the policy bars. She said this is one step towards a healthier and more equitable DC. No, dear. Unfortunately, I think it's just going to make things worse.
DC legalizes pot, bans menthol.
Yeah.
Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But again, these are the types of fights that need to be in place. Now, granted, I'm actually shocked that Big Tobacco wasn't able to come in on this one and kind of strong arm.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't do the same
that
they did in California. I'm surprised they didn't jump in there.
I guarantee you there's a bunch of people sitting in their apartments right now who know about this and are not happy about it at all.
Yeah.
Because now they can't go down to the corner store.
DC politics, as far as that, like you said, with like the Big Tobacco, the lobbyists and stuff like that, turning around like what they did in California. DC works a little bit differently.
Yeah.
those meetings were already had, most likely. Those meetings were probably, okay, we're going to try this out. And then, like I said, get rid of the vaping, get rid of the flavored tobacco, but menthol is allowed. Because menthol cigarettes are still under MSA.
Right.
Right.
Yep. I think we will see a shift.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's your news for tonight. I didn't have a real raw advocacy article, but join CASA.
Thank you, saw, baby.
Excuse me. Pardon me.
Don't waste. All right, let me remove that. All right, guys. Hey, I want to thank everybody. I thank you, Matthew, for jumping in there. I know it's a little bit different kind of show today. I hope you guys enjoyed that, but I'd like for everyone to get to know us a little bit, because every now and then I see the comments. Who are these guys?
Yeah.
So I felt, who is this guy? That's why I used the thumbnail that I used and titled the show the way I titled it. Who are these guys? So I figured it'd be kind of fun to me sit back, do the interview, kind of interviewing these gentlemen. And Matthew's a couple times on the show, so we're always glad to have Matthew on.
Yep.
Like I said, I enjoy Matthew because he tells it like it is. There's no bullshit. It's just what he feels.
I appreciate you having me on again.
And that's what I like. I don't want anybody cookie cutting or whatever fucking saying you want to say to get around the issue. You know what? It's time that we speak up and we speak loudly. And I don't see any other way around it anymore. I mean, no one's listening to us anymore. No one cares anymore.
Fuck it, all bets are off at this point.
and I'm going to be honest. I get a little frustrated when I see people like Matthew and other people that have been so involved in this getting burned out, because without them, we don't have a voice anymore, man, because no one else is doing it, man. Nobody fucking else is doing it. And it's great to see Captain Nasty and Cloud Queen on here with Vape Radio. These are people that we need to be supporting and we need to be listening to.
Yeah, follow them too.
Radio.
Yep, Captain Nasty.
And Tim. And Tim, I'm going to say it right now. I don't care if Grim Green gets upset. Tim is the best news and advocacy guy on YouTube when it comes to vaping. I'm saying it. Write it down. Whatever you want to do. Get mad at me. I don't care. Tim's the man.
My head's growing. It might not fit in the screen anymore.
It's there. Go ahead. Put it in there. Put it in the damn screen.
No, I'm happy to do it and get the news out to the people because you guys don't have time to go searching for all this stuff. So I just try to keep you informed. That's all.
Yeah, I like it. And I promise you, I've been trying to get Tim to come up with one happy story for his news and advocacy. It's hard.
He's a couple years late on that.
It's hard. I know Tim has a hard time, trying to find one. He's gonna find one. So maybe
someday, one day. Well, you know what? You know what the happy stories are? Is I could just go ahead and report on all the people that have shared their stories about how vaping saved their lives. That's your happy stories right there.
Or you guys, all that are watching the show, get your asses out there and do something. Make a story for Tim. So get out there and advocate. Be part of the system. Do what these guys, they broke it down to give you 3 easy steps. Each one of us had a different idea on how to start, but it all really starts to get involved. Just get involved. Get involved with CASA. And it's still sad. Every time I see that number, it makes me sad. Open those fucking emails, guys.
Yep.
Open the emails. They know who's opening their emails. And when you see numbers that low, that's sad, guys. Open those emails. And like we always say, that email, if it's coming to you, it's in your inbox. It's about your city. It's about your location. It's your area. That's how important it is. So open them, read them, and get involved. Tom.
Yes.
Say you're quick, Tom.
Well, I do want to jump back real quick.
Go ahead. Oh my God! Write this stay down. This is 2 times he's
calm down, John.
All right, go.
Calm down. It's okay.
Right,
if Grim Green does want to dispute the fact that he is better than Tim at the news,
bring it.
Come on this show and we can have it out like that.
No, we love Grim. We love Grim. All right,
I want to thank everybody in chat. I still gotta do my goodbyes yet, old man.
All right,
don't be too Russian.
Usually you're
quick. Fucking drink.
All right, got it.
You'll be fine. Thanks to everybody in chat for showing up again this week. Thanks to the Reaper for taking time out of his busy schedule and hanging out in the dark.
In the dark.
And I'll see all you guys in like 2 weeks.
I'm Batman.
That's it. I'm out.
I'm Batman. Go ahead, Tim.
No, absolutely. Thanks for Matthew for stepping in there. In the pinch, he always brings really good information and stories to the table. So we love having him on the show. So thank you, Matthew. Everybody in the chat, you guys are the best. There in you, there's no us, right? Otherwise, we're just talking to each other. And we'll see you again next week. Hopefully, not sick.
Yeah, take that Advil, whatever you're taking.
Alka-Seltzer Cold Plus medicine.
Cold
brother.
plus medicine.
Fever.
Nice ice vape helps too.
I gotta go through my boxes. I gotta go find some. Yeah.
We're going to go to Brian, and we're going to end with Matthew. Brian.
I just want to thank everyone for joining us. Like, I love being in the chat. I love talking to people. I love our guests. Matthew is such an awesome person. I appreciate you with everything I got. Your voice of everything, your honesty is great, and I love it. I love the ability to talk with everyone on the show, like even before, after, or during, or just mid chat. Everyone's able to talk to everyone and have a really good, great understanding of everything. So I appreciate everyone for doing that, and I appreciate everyone watching the show. Then thanks to everyone coming on.
Yeah, I see too much of you, but that's okay, Brian.
Whatever, man. I'll see you in a day and a half.
Yeah, that's right. Matthew, the Reaper. I am Batman.
I just want to say again, thank you for letting me hop on. I know it was definitely like last notice. I didn't even know if I was going to be able to do it, but fuck it. I got nothing else going on right now. Which it's crazy. You say thanks for fitting y'all into my busy schedule. You're not kidding. I was actually very happy to not have anything going on right now. I miss it. It's been shit. What's it been? Around Christmas time, I think, since the last time I was on.
Yeah, been a while.
Yeah, because I was drinking mimosas.
Yeah, you were.
So yeah, I haven't done a show with you guys since Christmas. Fuck, so much has been going on. Guys, just keep doing what you guys are doing. Fucking, I love seeing these shows. I can't always hop on and watch them, but I see the notifications and it makes me happy. Nasty, Cloud Queen, Vape Radio. Now the Vape Radio's back. Fucking,
Yeah.
we're getting the how'd I say it on Vape Radio? We're getting the soldiers back. We're getting the troop back. We're getting the band back together. And it's gonna be a hell of a fucking fight that we have coming up because death by 1,000 cuts, man, that shit fucking hurts. We're gonna have to be at every single fucking fight that we have, and I was very rough when I said it, but I mean it. If you can't be bothered to fucking get involved, go down, buy that pack of cigarettes, smoke them all, blow it in your fucking family's face, and tell them, I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about me. Because that's what you're doing. If vaping has given you better health, a job, a family, anything, it is your turn to pay it back. And if you don't want to do it for the fucking 90-year-old grandma trying to quit to save her fucking life to be around for her grandkids, fine, I don't give a fuck about that lady. Do it for your ability to use a less harmful alternative for you to have your nicotine. That's what it comes down to. If you need to do it for a selfish reason, do it for a selfish reason. But do fucking something. And keep doing it. Don't let them give up. Whenever you see any bullshit, pound the fucking shit out of them on Twitter, on Facebook, calls. If you see someone talking bad about, fucking do whatever you got to do to get your point across.
All right, guys. Thank you again. We'll see everybody next Wednesday, same time, same channel, same place. Peace.